Here on News Nation, focusing on missing person cases that were not getting national attention. We are continuing that series every Thursday here on News Nation Live. And this morning, we are revisiting a case that still remains a mystery nearly 16 months later. It is the story of a young geologist named Daniel Robinson, who vanished in the Arizona desert. And in a moment, Daniel's dad, David, will be joining me live. But first, a look at Daniel's disappearance. Tonight, we start our series, Missing in America, taking you to where the people were last seen, meeting these families and bringing you their stories. And we begin tonight with Daniel Robinson.
This is the area in Buckeye where his vehicle was found. This is remote. The terrain is extremely treacherous.
Daniel Robinson was 24 when he disappeared, a geologist working his dream job in the Arizona desert. A co-worker says Robinson left his job site on the morning of June 23, 2021. His Jeep, found a month later, crashed in a desert ravine. Robinson's keys, cell phone, and wallet were still inside, his clothing in a pile just outside the vehicle. But no sign of Daniel.
I do my job and find my son. He's my son, I'm his father, and it's my job.
For nearly 16 months, David Robinson hasn't given up on that job, searching the desert and bringing in his own private investigator. They took News Nation's Nancy Liu to the crash site. The investigator says too much doesn't add up, including red paint transfer on the side of the Jeep.
The vehicle was tipped over on the passenger side, so there's no red paint in this area. So how that got there? That's why I'm saying that vehicle did not crash here. That vehicle was, its last place of rest was here, but something was going on with that vehicle.
He notes other inconsistencies in the crash report.
The vehicle had 11 additional miles on it from the time the airbags deployed. It had 46 additional ignition cycles on it after the airbags deployed.
But Buckeye police say there's no evidence of foul play and have resisted a deeper investigation. The private investigator is also no longer on the case, but Robinson has finally convinced an outside law enforcement agency to go through Daniel's computer and cell phones for any clues.
They saw some of the things that I was seeing, and they wanted to look into it themselves.
While he waits for any information, he holds vigils.
As you guys know, I've been here over a year searching for Daniel.
And has organized dozens of searches.
Still don't have the answer that we're looking for. But we thank you for coming out here. It really means a lot to us.
Covering more than 23,000 acres, using four-wheelers and on foot. On at least two separate occasions, volunteers found human remains, which turned out not to be Daniel's.
Even though we didn't find Daniel, but it gave you some relief a little. That, we was able to bring some other families some type of closure.
He raises money on GoFundMe and takes every opportunity to speak about his son's disappearance.
I'm just here to bring awareness to my son's case.
Even appearing at CrimeCon in Las Vegas. Robinson has created a robust social media presence, a sophisticated website documenting coverage of the case, and weekly live online updates. All to keep his and other cases in the spotlight.
I'm blessed that I have a small platform, especially on YouTube presence, as well as TikTok and Twitter. In that doing so, I'm able to also help other families. I had other families on my Q&A to be able to tell their stories as well.
This Army veteran with a new mission in life, one he says he'll never give up.
No matter what, we will not leave a soldier behind. My son, he's my son, and I'm definitely not leaving him behind. That's thank you.
Local police investigating continue to say they have no evidence of foul play in Daniel's disappearance. Joining me now is Daniel's dad, David Robinson. David, you and I have spoken a number of times over the last year since Daniel's disappearance. By watching this story again, finding him must be all-consuming. You changed your life, moved across the country to search.
Yes, thank you for having me on. Yes, it's been very trying for me and my family, Daniel's siblings, his mother. It's been very trying being out here trying to get the answers that we're looking for. You can imagine after a year now still searching for Daniel and not having all the answers that we're looking for is very troubling in our mental state. It's really, really hard. struggling and working with the law enforcement on the outside of Buckeye, trying to get more law enforcement more involved to a point where there's an urgency there. I'm still looking for that urgency after a year. A lot of urgency that will definitely give me more answers, but I'm still on the job. I'm still on the job, putting on my investigative hat, as well as being a father, but also being able to help others as I'm taking this journey.
David, I said a moment ago, Buckeye Police, they have a timeline on their website. They say they're still actively investigating, but there's no evidence of foul play. After all of your investigative work and being so close to this case, do you believe that?
Well, according to my investigator, I did hire a private investigator, and all the information that we gave them from tangible evidence of the red transfer paint, for instance, 11 additional miles, pressure on the windshield, the fact that we don't even know it's Daniel's clothing that's on the ground, haven't been forensically tested. Those type things will, in my opinion, based on my family knowledge of my son. I've been there from the time he was born. We have a great indication about the way Daniel thinks. So you put all that things in combination that will suggest foul play. Against what the Buckeye Police Department feel, I feel there's more to the story.
And you questioned, David, the timeline as well. What stands out to you that may be inaccurate about the timeline?
Well, one of the biggest things is the person that's last seen a person should be, that story should be vetted very well. And we later found out in my investigation, his story just didn't match the timeline. He said my son left, for instance, the well site at 9:15, but yet my son made a phone call, his final phone call to him at 9:28. Those calls and the desire of my son sent a text message to ask for the location became unanswered. So again, like I said, my son called at 9:28. I'm assuming to ask for direction. So the timeline is not right. When the timeline is not right, you really have to scrutinize that story a little more.
David, this is a tough question to ask, and I'm sorry for asking it, but do you feel as though Daniel is still alive?
I have to. That's the only one that's one of the things that keep me going. Is also crucial for my family, his mother. We're people of faith. We believe in God. We believe in miracles. Though sometimes I look at everything that I have evidence-wise that would suggest other things, I still keep that hope and that faith because we don't have those answers of where Daniel's located. So I always have to keep that faith that somehow I'm going to bring my son home alive. And I really want to believe that. And I'm going to continue to believe that.
I appreciate that. And David, as we look at pictures of Daniel on the screen, there's one video that I just love where he's standing outside and snow is falling on his face. He's got this great big smile. I want you to share with people at home your son, his personality, who he is, and what you miss most about him.
Yeah, Daniel's very free-spirited. You probably can tell by the pictures. He's loved by a lot of his friends. He's a very friendly person. He loves nature. That's the reason why he's a geologist. That's why he came out to Arizona. He wants to be able to be in tune with nature. Also, he's a very family-oriented person. He definitely keeps the family together. Like I said, he shows a lot of love to his family. We love him back. One thing I miss the most for me, on my perspective, is having a conversation with my son. My son always come to me. He come to his mother. He calls all the time. We keep in contact with each other. But for me, just having that 2-hour conversation that we normally have, where he's asking questions, he's wanting to know things, he get advice, his entrepreneur spirit, what he want to do in life. He always plan things and always look on the positive light. I miss those things about my son.
And do you think about what you would say to him now if he could hear you?
Yes, of course. I've been here over a year searching for you. I'm not giving up. He's my son. I love him dearly. I'm here to fight. That's what fathers do. He know I have his back, and I'm here for him. No matter what, I'm definitely here and want to make sure I bring him back. And I'm not going to let anyone stop me. I want him to know that.
Amen. David, you have become such a powerful voice for so many other families that you have come in contact with who are also trying to find their loved ones. What has that support and getting to know these families meant for you and giving you hope in your case as well?
Yes. One thing, there's always something light at the end of the tunnel. It's definitely been a long experience. But in that experience, when you're a person that just have a missing loved one in your family, you're unaware of what other people are going through as well. I found out this is not unique to my family. There's other struggling families that don't even have a voice, so be able to talk to people all the time and hear their stories, it caused me to be passionate. I couldn't be human without answering those calls. I just want to make sure that I'm helping the other families as much as I can through my journey. doing everything I can. That's the reason why I have the Daniel Robinson Foundation, as well as other events and things I do to try to make sure I can get other people's story out there. I'm very passionate about that. Want to help everybody I can. It's my duty and my journey as well to be able to do that.
Well, you're a great dad and you've got a big heart, and I know you've got a big support system behind you as well. And the most important thing is keeping Daniel's story in the headlines. We're glad to partner with you as you do that, David Robinson. Thank you for giving us some time.
I appreciate you. Thanks so much.
My best to you. And if you have any information on the location of Daniel, if you have any information in this case, the Buckeye Police Department are still actively investigating. You can also go online to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. And you can find
Daniel Robinson. I attend AC Flora, and I'm planning to major in geology at College of Charleston.
Good job.
When the lights and camera turn off, I will be here. When the interest and conversation fade, I will be here. When there's no one around, a father will do anything it takes to be there for his son, to protect his family.
Daniel Robinson went missing 4 months ago. This is the last photo his family has of him. He's a 24-year-old geologist, last seen leaving his job site in Buckeye, Arizona.
As the Gabby Petito homicide case garners national attention, another young person has been missing for nearly 3 months, and his family is desperate to find him. 24-year-old Daniel Robinson, a geologist, was last seen on the morning of June 23rd, leaving his work site in the desert of Buckeye, Arizona.
David Robinson had only one thought on his mind as he drove the nearly 1,800 miles from his South Carolina home to Phoenix.
I had to find my son.
And I'm still searching for him. Thank you guys for coming in this morning's Q&A. My name is David Robinson. I'm the father of geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson. My son Daniel, a graduate of the College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina, went out to Arizona to start his career. He landed his first job upon arriving to Arizona with a company called Matrix New World, also called Matrix Southwest Groundwater. They are located in Phoenix. My son got hired on as a field geologist, also called a hydrogeologist. What his job entails is that he goes out to various well sites under assignments. Those well sites could be any city in the town in Arizona. Once he gets to those locations on many occasions, he'll meet with a representative from a drilling company that had put the well inside. His job is, like I said, to check the viability of those wells, to get water measurements, to determine if those wells can produce at least 100 years of water. That is something that is required by law in Arizona. Most communities have to have at least 2 wells, and like I said, those wells have to produce at least 100 years of water. Also, they check the viability of those wells and make sure it's drinkable and safe to drink. The water get tested. So my son had been doing that on June 23rd. He got an assignment according to his job to do 2 well sites that morning. The first one was off of Verrado Way in Buckeye, Arizona. That's right off of I-10. After completing that first job site, he was scheduled to go to a second job site. The story, of course, you guys have been told by a worker who was at that well site, the second well site, waiting on my son. His name is Ken. By that story and also by my son's phone records, we can paint a picture of what really probably went down. According to that worker, my son had met him out on the side of the road, Sun Valley Parkway, right off of the outside of that Sonoran Desert entrance. They had a brief discussion. They made it. My son followed him into that desert out there, the Sonoran Desert. They went 1 mile west and 2 miles north to get to this well site. The worker said that my son and he made it to that well site roughly around 9 o'clock that morning. After a brief conversation about the weather, and my son eventually waved off to him. About 15 minutes later, at 9:15, he was gone, never to be seen again. As you guys know, this is just a rough draft of what really happened. I just kind of start off with that story. My son's vehicle was found almost 30 days later in a ravine, a little over 3 miles, around 3 miles away from that well site, farther into the Sonoran Desert, in the remote area of that desert. It was down, like I said, in a 20-foot ravine. There was clothing. The vehicle was turned over. It appeared to have turned over on the side. The vehicle also had a smashed out driver's window, and as well as the windshield was smashed in 2 locations. A lot of significant damage on the vehicle itself. The outside of the vehicle was a pile of clothing. That's allegedly my son's clothing. It contained his wallet and some other little items that was there found with the clothing in the pile. His boot, one was tucked under the vehicle, one was on the other side of the vehicle, and also a safety vest that was almost another foot away from the pile of clothing was found on that ground. Of course, after a search, according to the Buckeye Police Department, who did a search in that area multiple times, they say, the vehicle, first of all, wasn't there. The vehicle was found by a rancher who owned the land out there in that area. He's out, he says, tracking his cattle, which go down that ravine to end up in the corral. But he said he came there 2 to 3 days prior to that. July 19th is when the vehicle was found out there in that ravine. The vehicle wasn't there. When he came the second time, of course, the vehicle was there. He reported it. Of course, again, you guys, the Buckeye Police Department said they did a search almost 3 days after my son went missing, utilizing the Phoenix Firebird helicopter to fly over that area. And also they said it was on the ground. The vehicle wasn't there. And as well as almost 2 weeks after that point, they had us on July the 9th. They had a search with Silver Air Patrol. I just happened to be out there to make sure they was doing that. I can't say exactly how they wouldn't let me in the desert to actually put eyes on them actually doing the search, but from the roadway, it appeared they were doing the search. And according to them, they went into that area as well, and the vehicle wasn't there. So, like I said, on July 19th, 10 days after that Silver Air Patrol search, the vehicle showed up in that ravine. Like I said, Buckeye Police Department claimed they did a whole big series of search out there that day. They said they did some testing of the vehicle as well, but they didn't find anything that was lead to Daniel walking away from that scene. They say they used cadaver dogs, tracking dogs. There was nothing to say Daniel was ever at that scene besides his vehicle and some item of clothing sitting out and some personal effects. So again, I've been out here since June 26th, searching for my son. You guys know last year, all this happened last year, of course. I've been out here for over a year, out in Arizona for a year. I'm not in Arizona exactly just right now, but been out for over a year in Arizona, searching for my son. I've been doing a lot of things like working with the Buckeye Police Department at the beginning when I found out they failed at really putting the efforts in to search for my son, as well as rejecting the physical evidence that we found that may suggest foul play, from that scene. Instead, they doubled down because they really want to just keep them classified as a missing person. They was unwilling to look into those items that we gave to them, information we gave to them that would suggest foul play. Of course, my confidence level had dropped against that police department, the way they mismanaged my son's case. Some things that was given, like for instance, I was given the vehicle, as well as I had to ask for them to do fingerprinting on that vehicle, ask them to do forensic work on that vehicle in a meeting, and as well as they gave me everything that's personal to my son. In hindsight, because they know they messed that up, they've been trying very hard to try to get the electronics for whatever reason back from me. Of course, I'm refusing to let them have that because, first of all, they turned it over to me. They didn't do any forensic work on that. And as well as I've seen some things that would suggest, from my point of view, they mismanaged his case, and I won't let them do any more further damage. As you guys know, I have been really working hard also in the background of trying to get forensic work done, as well as trying to get other law enforcement agencies involved. I put a petition out, a letter to Chief Hall of Buckeye Police Department to bring in the FBI. As you guys know, that was last year, roughly around this time last year. Went out to put the put that request in. Had my attorney to look over it and make sure it was legally sound. But anyway, just had that letter out there that was very striking. Point out the fact, all the information that we gave the Buckeye Police Department, as well as the fact that Chief Hall, was on CNN saying that it was highly suspicious the way my son went missing, as well as the report from the Buckeye Police Department, who claimed that my son most likely had a severe brain injury that caused him to shred his clothes, so he's a person endangered, and as well as the fact that he went missing in a crime scene, because in my searches, we did over 40,000 acres of land. Of course, we did, 36,000 acres of land over 40 weeks of searches, and we found human remains out there. So bringing closure to other people's family. Those human remains, especially the skull that was found out there, would suggest foul play. I would not be very graphic about the skull, but I can tell you it suggests that crimes do happen out in that area of Buckeye. Even with all of that evidence, they did not move outside of doing a case briefing with the FBI. According to Chief Hall, he called the FBI in to do what it is, a case briefing. Of course, I'm very happy about that. I told my family about it, put you guys on notice about that in my family press conference. And as soon as he said he was going to do that, my attorney, she sent the letter out to him requesting, the same as that day, requesting to be part of this case briefing. If she can't be a part of this, I can just do it on my own, the way the letter was written. We gave them a little time to respond back, and of course they didn't. They didn't respond back at all. Instead, they decided to have the case briefing alone. Whatever they told the FBI, whatever they did with the FBI, we just don't know. But they came back to report back to me to say the FBI said that you, Mr. Robinson, doing such a great job on your own, we don't have to come in. So that was very disappointing for me and my family. Of course, I don't want to believe that the FBI would say anything like that, but I did reach out to the agent from the FBI who did the case briefing, and it would give you appearance that he would probably say something like that because of his personal, a link is only, a chain is only good as the link, because his personal feelings about the Buckeye Police Department. So of course, you guys have been pushing for the FBI, still trying to get the case in, get them involved in this case, because you guys see all the things that's there that would suggest foul play, all the things that's very suspicious, highly, like I said, the chief of police from Buckeye said the same thing. He agreed with that. There's a lot of things going on that we do not have answers. He's still missing. My son is still missing here. Here it is, November the 9th, 2022, and my son is still missing. And so I'm still out here searching. We're still out in Arizona, searching for my son, still working hard, trying to get, like I said, other departments in there. So in my efforts, as well as with my team working on beside me as well, was able to get another department to look into the forensics of Daniel's case. When I say look into the forensics, they was able to ironically, willing to look into just the electronics alone. Of course, I've been pushing for them to do also the vehicle itself, the red transfer paint. You guys know the airbags, you name it. Everything need to be looked into. The vehicle need to be vacuumed for DNA evidence. Also the clothing. We're not even sure that's Daniel's clothing. We don't recognize it as a family, to make sure that it's indeed Daniel's clothing. Also to reevaluate all the evidence that my investigator and I gave to them, to the Buckeye Police Department, as well as that we have, like I said, that would suggest otherwise. Also, the fact that we wanted to make sure that we reached out to departments that we think are part of the investigation. Of course, according to the Buckeye Police Department, they call in some other agencies. Only ones I can think of that nobody ever contacted me and say, hey, I was part of any search for your son. Only thing that we can go by is the Buckeye Police Department said they utilized the Phoenix Firebird helicopter. Something I've been, you guys in the background, researching. I have also had a congressman look into it. And to date, the Phoenix Police Departments don't have any record of they having that flight, but I'm still searching. And so they never came back with me with a definitive. They just say they can't find that search, that helicopter user. But anyway, they say they put the Phoenix Firebird helicopter in there almost 3 days after my son was missing. Also, they reached out to Tempe Police Department when I requested it at first. That's the first department I called, you guys. My son is a resident of Tempe, Arizona. And also I reached out to that police department to put that missing person report in. Of course, they pushed me over to Buckeye Police Department. And then, because I was asking then for the Tempe Police Department to do a welfare check to make sure my son wasn't a victim of foul play. He wasn't in this apartment. They refused to have done that and decided to wait till Buckeye alerted them to go and do this welfare check. So their involvement as well. And also, I reached out to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Department, of course, you guys, because my son went missing in Maricopa County. Maricopa County covers Buckeye, covers all the little city like Goodyear, all these little areas in between Buckeye and Phoenix. We also covered Phoenix, Arizona, and Tempe as well. My son went missing in Maricopa County, so I reached out to the sheriff out there, had a meeting with him as well, trying to make sure that my son went missing, so he should be able to handle my son's case because my son went missing, like I said, in Maricopa County. The sheriff supersedes all of that, so definitely reached out to him, trying to get that movement as well. You guys, but it's been a whole lot of work. But like I said, to go back to what I was saying is that I'm very grateful that I was able to convince one department to look into my son's forensics, and also they decided to. I lost some feed here. You guys hang in there with me 1 minute here. Apologize for that. Okay, well, I think we may have to go without video for a while, you guys. I'm trying to fix this as I'm talking, but I was able to convince them to do some forensics on the electronics, and so I'm very grateful for that part. There, was able to do that, and just want to continue on with with that. Just keep fighting as well. As you guys you can see the screen went off right here. I lost my camera feed for whatever reason. I'm trying to get that back up so you guys can see me here. But while I'm waiting, I'm just going. Okay, I think I'm back, you guys. Yeah, but I'm going to go back into this comment section because I've seen a lot of things here I want to point out with you guys. First of all, I want to tell y'all thank you so much for hanging in there with me. I'm having some technical difficulties already. I'm in a different location. You probably can tell, and I'm having some little issues here, but I'm working on that as well. But again, I just wanted to tell you guys thank you first of all for being here and also hearing some of the things I have to say about my son's case. That's what this channel is all about, of course. Telling about Daniel's story. It's not a entertainment channel. It's there to talk about my son's case, about him being missing, and as well as bringing that awareness. Also to help other families. This whole thing I created called Q&A is also there for other families. They want to be here talking about their loved one. They're invited to come anytime. Come anytime to share your loved one's story. All thing you have to do to go write us, me and myself and my team, at please help find Daniel at yahoo.com and put that request in, you guys. So definitely want to go to the comment section, but I want to say first that, yes, if anybody have any questions about my son's case, I try to get some overview and some updates and things like that. So I will get to those as those questions come. But I can tell you that briefly is that the forensics on the electronics that I was able to convince a law enforcement agency to perform. Those are completed, and I'm waiting on some feedback from that as well. I had a meeting date under my scheduling. I'm unable to meet that date, so we have put that date to a different time, and so I will have those answers to those items, extra items. Of course, you guys know that it was in the searches, my searches out there in the desert. We also found 2 additional cell phones near the area where my son's vehicle was found. So those are being also have been tested and DNA looked into. Forensically looked into, and so as well. So I gained some back from that, as well as all of my son's personal computers at home, his little electronics and things like that. So trying to get some answers to put everything together, everything in proper perspective to find out what really happened on that point. But like I said, you guys, I really need your help, and I want to jump on, but real quick before I really go into the comment section, I want to point out one thing, and I want to share a screen. I hope I can keep this feed up. I've been having some problems here, but I want to put this up real quick, and I want to talk about this as well. What I want to do is really encourage you guys. I'm not saying that you have to, and I'm not telling you to do so, I'm not instructing you to do anything, but I'm encouraging you to, if you want to, help me out by what I'm trying to do is, like I said, try to get other departments, another department, the Tempe Police Department, as well as Maricopa County, to do some things as well. Because, I still have the forensics on the vehicle. I still have the possession of the vehicle. It's very expensive storing that thing, first of all. But being able to keep that forensically sound, as well as get the forensics done on that vehicle. I saw something on the report last night. I was looking at from the Buckeye Police Department. They say they double talk. They said they put on there, oh, we did some type of forensics from the scene. But at the same time, when I requested them to do it in the meeting, they said they didn't do anything at all. And then when I requested it, they're doing the same thing they said they did at the scene: fingerprinting, touch DNA type stuff. You can't. That's double talk. You say, why are you doing it the second time if you did it the first time? So it's some things like that I wanted to point out real quick on that, just to say it. But then I'm going to show you guys later on when I start talking about more in depth about my son's case. So those things, just don't match up. But I want to go ahead and share a screen real quick here. And what this is let me see here. I want to share. This right here is the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office website. And what the reason why I'm pointing this out to you guys is that I want to ask you guys. This is what I'm doing. I'm reaching out, and they know what I'm doing as well. I already reached out, like I told you guys. I've been talking to Sheriff Zone. I had a meeting with him as well. Very nice guy. When I say he's a very nice guy, he showed me his humanity. And when I say that, I've been dealing with some law enforcement with Buckeye. If you was to just deal with Buckeye Police Department, you deal with their mayor, you deal with the assistant mayor, you deal with the whole entire city council members, the attorney, whatever. Even the clerk at the front desk of Buckeye Police Department, you'll see a different outlook of Arizona. If you base that Arizona based on Buckeye, the city at large, you would not like Arizona, especially being a guy of color. So it was a different feel when I went to Sheriff Zone. Just to put it out real quick here, went to his office, had a meeting with him and his staff. And the first thing my team member and we noticed is the way he was so very concerned. He sat down a one-on-one, listened to everything I had to say, listened to all the information I was having to give him. They also allowed me to show them some of the evidence or talk about some of the evidence I had as well. And not only that, just being very attentive and actually writing down what I'm saying. Actually ask a question. Then the thing that caught me at the end was Sheriff Zone almost seemed like he took off his badge and everything and just showed me that his humanity, like I said, told me that his wife and him are praying for me and my son and my family, and that he's gonna do everything he can to try to help. So those things meant a lot. Just like I told him at that day, look, you talk to a police department, if they show some type of humanity to a family, a lot of times that's what a family need. If you show them that you don't care, that's what the family is going to see. So I can't give my hats off to Sheriff Zone personally as a person, to the way he approached me when I came up there. But what I'm going is that I'm also asked Sheriff Zone and the office to take my son's case. I showed them all the damage that the Buckeye Police Department had done on my son's case. Those damages it's horrific, you guys. If any defense attorney can get a criminal off in my son's case, if it came up to a point that shows that foul play has happened, right? The person can literally come out and say, hey, I did this, blah, 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 God forbid. But this person will be able to get off with a good defense attorney easy. The reason why? Because due process, thing called due process of law that I learned in high school that you have to follow. Some things wasn't done, of course, from the Buckeye Police Department, as well as their procedures and the way they handled my son's items, his case, period. Some things that they wouldn't really look at the beginning that caused a bit delay and caused, like I tell you guys, the first 24 hours, the first 12 hours, the first 10 hours, in my opinion, is very crucial to a case of when it comes to a missing person, because, if you don't catch it fast enough, you can't wait till almost 3 days after a person go missing to go look for them. I could show you guys in their report. The officer who asked for it, asked for the helicopter on my behalf. When I asked them to go out and search for Daniel, he put on the report himself, said it was denied. Just that first crucial thing is very important. So anyway, I put it down to the bottom of this website is because this is the area here, you guys, that's important. Like I say, I'm not going to tell anybody what to do, but I can encourage you to do what I'm saying is what I'm doing here is this is the address here, of course, the address and also the phone number here, you guys. And what I'm asking is that, it's a call to action. And what I'm asking is, you guys have done this before. You did it with the Buckeye Police Department. They helped in this case because even they're doing a whole bunch of photo ops and trying to make themselves look good and working towards themselves. They wouldn't have done none of that if you guys wasn't doing some of the things I was asking or, like I said, encouraging, is to call them. Call their phone line, send these letters out, saying, hey, look, Maricopa County, my son went missing in Maricopa County. I'm not focusing on Buckeye anymore. I'm done with the Buckeye Police Department. I have some law enforcement agencies that, like I said, they look out for the blue, suggesting I should try to work with the Buckeye. Why wouldn't I work with someone who who showed me, first of all, they was unconcerned of my son's case. They wasn't handling it the way they should handle it. They didn't take the seriousness there, and some things was left in a sloppy way, done the sloppy way. I don't think they have the capacity to do the job. So I'm looking at a department who has jurisdiction. I'm looking at a department who has the power to just take the case. Some might look at it political and say, hey, look, the big sheriff come in town and just take the case. Damn right. Dan's been missing over a year. It's going on 2 years eventually. And the sheriff need to step in and take my son's case, period. I don't need no working with the Buckeye Police Department. I need the sheriff department to take on the Daniel Robinson case. When I say take on it, I mean take all the evidence, everything they need. They don't help me get the evidence from the Buckeye Police Department. I have those evidence. I have those items. They gave me everything. They gave me gave me the report. I have I have 2 reports. I have a partial report that Chief Hall ordered his team to give to me. That was uncompleted. And in that meeting, recorded meeting, he said, hey, Mr. Robinson, we're going to give you the completed report once the detective finished writing it. And when I say completed, that's when they handed those things over to me. They told my investigator they had no investigation. They told me they had no leads to follow. They gave me all the things. They was done my son's case. They gave me the final report, and I still have that unredacted, you guys. So the whole point is, what I'm saying is, whatever they need, the sheriff department need, I already have those things. I have those things as well. They don't have to go to the Buckeye Police Department for anything. So what I'm saying is also as well is that his jurisdiction supersedes all of that, right? If anything, you guys, I'm also going to point out the Tempe Police Department as well. This is the Tempe Police Department, of course, is located in Tempe, Arizona. Of course, I had time to be able to meet the staff there as well as the mayor of Tempe. Again, same thing, same experience. When I left Buckeye with a bad taste in my mouth, I went out to Tempe, Arizona to reach out to that staff, reached out to the mayor first. I went to the city council meeting, and you guys know, and I mean, been welcomed with open arms, right? Very attentive, same thing. It's like when you move east from Buckeye, the people seem to get nicer. Started going over to the Tempe Police Department, of course, very attentive, listen to everything I had to say. I have even in that city council, had even one of those council members I want to back that up. That came from Phoenix. That was Phoenix. One of the council members jumped up and was trying to get out of order. His city attorney had to tell him, hey, you can't conduct that kind of business while you're up there on that, they list things where they're sitting. But the whole point I'm saying is the same thing with the Tempe Police Department, Tempe city as well. Mayor Wood, he met with me before, my attorney and I, also with assistant chief at the time, listened to everything we had to say, tried to say they're going to help as much as they can as well. Like I said, always about the way you approach your family, right? Did very good. I met with Mayor Wood again the second time, saw him in the city council meeting. It had a big uproar going on at the time, a lot of protesting about a homeless man who's drowning, had drowned in a lake out there in Arizona, some waterway. I don't know if it's actually a lake, but a little waterway area. And the people was very upset. But even that night, I was able to talk to the mayor of Tempe, who showed me a lot of his time. And then I ultimately had another meeting as well with the chief Glover, and also Assistant Chief Anderson, and also the mayor of Tempe. We had a closed meeting, them and myself and my team. We had a very, very good discussion. Came with some agreements about some things and talked about some things as well. But I'm saying is the way they approach is very good. Only problem I have with the Tempe Police Department now is the fact that my son is a resident of Tempe. Like I expressed to the mayor of Tempe, he's a resident. I'm like, look, I come to city council meetings. What I'm asking for, what are you going to do for my son? He's a citizen of Tempe, Arizona, and what are you going to help your citizen? You know, of course, at that time, I'm also a citizen of Arizona. I've been over there in Arizona over a year, and what are you guys going to do for me and my family? You know, so that's what I'm pushing out for the Tempe Police Department as well. Like I said, these two departments, you got the sheriff department, who can supersede the whole case, can take this case. They don't have to ask no questions. They can jump into this case anytime, any day they want to. The second party is my son, like I said, went missing in Buckeye, but he's a resident, I'm sorry, of Tempe, Arizona. He's a resident of Tempe, and there's nothing, you guys, outside of a man who's, in my opinion, a suspect, should be a suspect story. Outside of his story, there's nothing. There's no, according to the Buckeye Police Department, there's no phone records that shows that my son was out there in that desert. There's no video footage, according to Buckeye Police Department, showing my son. There's no, even his Uconnect on his vehicle. No evidence that this man's story is true, outside of him just telling a story, right? But one thing is true: my son is a resident of Tempe, Arizona. We do know he lived there. We don't even know if he been there because of no footage of my son left the desert. Let's say he left the desert outside of what we know. Let's say he left the desert and went back home that morning. We don't know that. Tempe don't know that. Nobody know that, right? So it's beyond me how the Tempe Police Department can say, well, his last place is out there in Buckeye, Arizona. Where your proof of that? What somebody said? Where's the evidence of that? There's no evidence. But what evidence we do have is that everything that belongs to my son was last found at his apartment out there in Tempe. Everything that belonged to him. We got his vehicle that showed up 30 days after he went missing, but after that vehicle was moved, my son thing still resides in Tempe, Arizona. He's a resident of Tempe. They didn't go in there to look in Daniel's apartment outside of Buckeye, take some pictures with their landlord. They can touch nothing, look at nothing, and everything else. They didn't do no forensics work. They didn't go in there to see if anybody else is in my son's apartment. That was Tempe's job. When I first went out to call, and you guys know, the first thing I did is reach out to the Tempe Police Department, is because my son is a resident of Tempe. I know you can go back before. I talked to a lot of law enforcement agents all across this country, and most would say, and I haven't found one yet except for Tempe, would say, well, it's because he was the last seen in this situation now, his last seen in Buckeye's case. No, that's not true. That's only from allegedly because of what somebody's saying. There's no evidence. There's some evidence there to say this guy's story is correct. Where's the in the report, you guys? Where's his cell phone ping data? This guy, so I'm saying all this kind of stuff. So show some kind of, you got to show something. Show something. This is definitely where my son was last seen. So I look at this angle from the sheriff department, and I look at the Tempe Police Department as well. And why these two departments can see outside what another department hadn't done, and how they're screwing things up instead of jumping in and say, hey, look, this is what I need to do. I need to go ahead and take this case from the sheriff department's area. I need to have the Tempe Police Department to look into areas where my son has, like, who knows, have been last seen in Tempe. I don't know. They didn't do no interviews with his. I did. I talked to his neighbors. Did the Tempe Police Department go check into Tempe to see if anybody saw him in Tempe last? No. Did Buckeye do that? No. So we don't know that. I'm still yet. That's why you guys know that I have this outreach here. Let me go back down here again. You go to, like I said, you guys, you can go to Tempe.org, Tempe.gov, and you can see, like I said, find the information here, where you can reach out to them as well. So, and also the sheriff department. But what I'm saying is, you guys, if you get what I'm saying, there's nothing to say my son was last seen in that desert out there. I mean, his vehicle showed up, and then we already know it just showed up out there after 30 days, almost 30 days later. It wasn't there for the entire 30 days. I hear people out here, they're very smart. I give it to them. They look into the case. They don't have enough knowledge about the case. They don't have no inside knowledge about anything. Sometimes I listen to them, and I really commend the hard work that people are doing out there, putting the case together in their way. Of course, you can use data from the car, the vehicle itself, but that eludes everything else. That's in other words, I'm saying that the angle they're going, we have to dismiss all the facts that they're still on the ground. If it don't fit those, it's almost like well, I want to bring that up. One attorney would say, if it don't fit, you must acquit type deal. It's almost like that. Sometimes it just don't fit. It's very clever, very knowledgeable, and I give them that. But at the same time, it don't fit the things that's tangible things that I already know that's there, that's not even put in the public. So they don't have enough information. Is what I'm saying. One of the things is my son, like I said, you guys, there's nothing to say that outside of this one guy that I feel, as a father, I feel should be a suspect. Looking too deeper. His timeline didn't fit. There's suspicious circumstance around the well site, period. If it's 1 mile west and then 2 miles north, the well site that they was leading me to all the time is not the well site that Daniel went missing from. It's the well site that's north of that. And you guys know what I found in that well site. I still got video footage of that, what was found in that well. The fact that, like I said, it's just by word of mouth. So I hear a lot of hearsay in this whole case. The Buckeye Police Department taking a testimony without vetting a person's story. I'm hearing the sheriff, as well as the mayor, Copa County, as well as Tempe, agreeing with that, obviously, because nobody say, hey, look, how we know this man's story is true? Just because he said it? I want to see some physical evidence of that. I want to see everything that would say to vet this man's story is true, right? I can say a lot of things. A man can say, hey, I didn't rob the bank. What are they going to say? Well, we see the bag of money you got here, but okay, you say you didn't do it. Well, we're going to do it. Well, I mean, we don't see the bag of money, but we're going to believe your story. Oh, yeah, you need to go look into that and find out the truth about that as well. Also, you need to do some due diligence of going to, because you see in the police report, anything about, we talked to all the neighbors, we did this, we did an interview, he did blah, blah, blah. No, we don't know if Daniel made it back to his apartment that morning. We don't ever know if he ever actually left his apartment or somebody else took his vehicle somewhere. We don't know all of that. So those are type things that we need to be looking to. And that's being hampered because, like I said, this department is refusing to even look into my son's case as criminal, to even check those things and make sure it's not criminal, even despite of all the information that my investigator and I gave to them. Despite of that, we've been finding human remains in that area, despite of what my family say about my son's character. You look at that. It's been over a year, and they still have not moved on that. And that's why I need you guys, if you can, please, by all means, utilize those things I just showed you there. That's a call to action. If you guys want to help me continue my efforts to fight for my son, I really, really, truly need you guys to reach out to these departments and look, to say, look, this is what the family look for. I don't have no confidence in that Buckeye Police Department at all. They damaged my son's case. I have other reasons you guys don't know to doubt them, and Sheriff Zone know about those, as well as Tempe. I relate those two departments or some things that I found out that would be very highly conflict of interest. And so, there's no reason outside of the blue looking out for the blue for the Sheriff Department not to come in and take the case. There's no reason for Tempe Police Department to come in and take the case. whatever they got to do, you know what I'm saying, to be able to make sure that my son's case is being handled properly and make sure some real policing has been done. It's been over a year. It's been over a year, you guys, and it's very hard. So I'm really here still fighting. I really want to point out as well these super chats that I see here, you guys. That that's really kind of you. I see it here on the YouTube side of things. Let me put this up on my screen here real quick here. But yes, on the YouTube side of things, I want to tell you thank you for the super chat here. Let's see if I can get that pull up. I'm just going to share it on the screen real quick here because I think it'd be easier to try to find it and pull it up. You guys are going to see pretty much a double screen. But right here, thank you so much. I really appreciate you so much, Nissa. Thank you so much for that super chat. God bless you for that. That's really kind of you. Really kind of you have done that. I really appreciate that. Okay, I think I do have you right here. I put you right here on the screen. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. God bless you for that. Very wonderful. Daniel will be found. Yes, he will. I have faith on that as well. I know in my heart he will. I feel a light in my heart when I think of him. Not darkness. I really appreciate it. You know, and that's Daniel's character. Very, very loving, very intelligent young man. You know, speaking of that, Anissa, I had for the last 2 nights. I didn't have it last night, but the last 2 nights, probably 3, I kept dreaming that I found my son. I found him alive. We had a discussion. For some reason in this dream, I mean, long dream. The dreams very vivid. It felt like I was actually there for a week in these dreams. You know, and I really it gave me a outlook when I woke up that, you know, hey, look, God is there. And I really feel like, yes, I am going to find my son. And the thing is, though, like I said, we didn't get around to what happened. We didn't get around to, you know, those type things in the dream. I think the dreams that I had was more geared towards my daughters, my twin girls, and Daniel. It is the 3 of us, and we was having a good time talking and conversing with each other. I was really concerned about them, and was able to give him a hug and being able to just talk to him, you know what I'm saying, just talk to him. And I really felt it really strongly, very strongly. Those things that seemed so real to me. I almost didn't want to get out those dreams. I realized I was dreaming, but it felt so real that Daniel was back here, okay, all well, and that I had the opportunity to talk to him again. So I'm looking for that too. He will be found, and I know he will as well. And I'm asking God to do that as well. So, but thank you so much, Anissa, for that super chat. I really appreciate that. You guys have been supporting from day one, like Anissa done here. You guys have been supporting. I would not have been able to be successful in fighting this long for Daniel. There's a lot of families don't get an opportunity. They may not have the funds. They may not have the time, the efforts to be able to do some of the things I was able to do. And I really thank God, first of all. And I thank, secondly, you guys for putting your heart out there and really showing up. Whether it's the desert search, I had people from the desert, my desert team, they helped me out in the desert, as well as all the volunteers that was coming out. I wish I could just name everybody, so many people. We became like a family. We became a family, you know, extended family out there in the desert from day one. Got everybody was out there passing out flyers and come and get flyers from the desert, utilizing their gas, their time, their money. That's from the search coordinators to the logistics coordinators, everybody in their family, just showing so much love. And I really appreciate everybody from that point, as well as, like I say, outside of the desert. I was asking people to get out these flyers, like I said, and people showing up to the flyer distribution, passing out to the communities. People still asking for flyers, getting them mailed to them. Flyers going all over this country, and I'm really happy about that. So I'm saying all the prayers, all the kind comments. At first, I used to make it a point to be able to talk to everybody every night on all my social medias, on the website, and physically, literally talk to everybody before I go to bed and say thank you so much. Whatever they ask or talk about, I try to respond. But it became so overwhelming for over the year now that I can't even respond anymore. It's really unreal to see that this love and support have grown so much from you guys for Daniel, and really supporting, trying to find him. And we have to. That's what it takes. It takes a community. It takes a village. It takes the nation. It takes, you know, everybody to do something like this. You know, do something like what I'm doing here, fighting for my son. So it takes a lot. So I'm really grateful for you guys for doing that. I really also thank the people who in the media, from CNN to the Red Table Talk, Jada Pinkett Smith to Joy Reid to Dr. Oz, you name it. I don't want to miss everybody, but so many, News Nation. There's so many. All the people who actually reached out, Sarah Seidner from CNN as well. Some of the ones that Kumo also, who gave me their personal information to keep in contact with Chet. Also, Robert Dean from Dateline. So I want to be able to say thank you to all those people who've really been doing everything they can to put their efforts in to try to help me reach out and fight for my son. Like I said, y'all doing this day and this, and I know I'm holding that for a long time, but I really want to tell you I'm really grateful for that, and I really appreciate everybody who's been donating as well, getting the GoFundMe up from day one. You guys, like I said, it's not that amount that's sitting in the account. This is money that I was able to utilize along the way, and to get everything function, to be able to do what I'm doing. Like I said, from the flyer distribution to the searches in the past to being able to stay in Arizona as long as I have, with my boots on the ground, you name it, billboards, whatever the case may be. You guys have been supporting me on all of that, and I really appreciate that. I'm just a mouthpiece for my son, and also I am also a father who's investigating. Also, I want to reach out. We'll say this real quick too, if I forget. I am a veteran, and I want to say this because I know I won't be able to say it before Veterans Day. Veterans Day, I think it's Friday. I want to say I salute all my brothers and sisters at arms, my fellow members of the armed forces. Just want to say happy Veterans Day weekend. Happy Veterans Day coming up as well. I just want to make sure at the same time, I know Memorial Day has passed as well. I was not going to forget all my brothers and sisters who passed away through our service out there in Afghanistan. You know who those are. My first butts bomb, him and his family. I just want to be able to say, I love you guys, no matter what branch you are in. We are brothers and sisters at arms. You guys have been the very few in this country. As I think it's 1 or 2% of the country decided to put themselves in harm's way to defend this country and its Constitution and our way of life. So I just really want to say thank you to everybody who's a veteran, who's serving the country right now. Thank you so much for your service. I really appreciate you guys. Like I said, you guys, I will be putting some of my pictures up as well. We do this every year to highlight Veterans Day. So I want to say that as well. I want to say that before I continue on. All right, I'm going to the comment section real quick here, you guys. I want to say thank you so much again. And I want to try to get as much people I can, but I definitely want to get these questions in. If you guys have any questions about my son's case or in the comments, you can put the comments there in the chats, but the questions, please, by all means, you have any questions, put the word question there before you question, the capital letter Q, a question mark or something like that. As I'm coming down, I definitely will address it and answer those questions as much as I can. The ones I can, when I say ones I can't, would be probably something that's still under investigation, as well as some things I can't release to the public, or something I may not just even know. I would be honest with that. But I want to say thank you so much, Tracy, for being here this morning as well, supporting. Thank you, Queen 82. Thanks so much for being here. I want to say Robin Claus, thanks so much for being here. Did they locate his vehicle? Yes. Didn't they locate? Yeah, they have. His vehicle was found almost 30 days after he went missing, Robin. You guys have any questions, please put that question mark there, the capital letter Q. That'll help me as I come down. Sometimes I come down kind of quick and I don't want to miss a question. Or I pray they find this young man. And I thank you so much, Robin, for coming in from the Facebook side. God bless you for that. Anissa, thank you so much. Good morning to you as well. Ellen, thanks so much. Esther, thanks so much for being here this morning. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Thank you, Lois from North Carolina. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Good morning to you. And thank you for your prayers. And thank you for your support. Always being here regardless. I know you hear the same things over and over again, but you have been very supportive. You have taken those flyers. I was glad to hear from you, actually speak with you in the ambassador meeting last week. So for the first time, I was able to correspond with us. I'm really happy that you came out to support that as well. So thank you so much. Also, thank you, Kim, for being here this morning. Thank you. and I'm trying to keep the update as much as possible, you guys. I have more content I'd be wanting to do, but I'm always moving around, going had to take care of some things. I've been doing a lot of traveling last week, and as you can see, I had to change some things up just to have this Q&A this morning. And I really want to put some things that I do have some more updates. I want to actually put something together so you guys can tangibly see on the screen and things like that as I'm talking about it. If I get a chance to do that, I will. I just wish I had somebody who's very good at that kind of stuff, can handle that part for me as I'm moving. But I'm trying to get those together so I can share some more stuff with you as well, updates. Kim, thanks so much. Twistina, thanks so much for being here. Thank you for your constant support as well. Good morning to you. Also, thank you for the super chat, Ryan. I really appreciate it. See, like I'm saying, you guys, definitely every time, saying you guys do that. I just love the love you guys have shown. That really puts a smile on my face. It really shows me that people out there that's really supporting what I'm doing here. And that's fighting for Daniel. Also, I want to be able to, this evening, you guys, please come back for this evening Q&A. Prime time. I will be back again this evening as well. I had to adjust that time. I know there was some states time that went back. I know California did, so I had to adjust that time, and I will put that out. You guys look on social media this afternoon. As soon as I get off of here, I will adjust the time. I can't mentally do it right now. I meant to do it ahead of time, but what I will be doing is probably pushing the time for Arizona back or forward or something. I'll just try to figure it out. Just make sure it's kind of even for everybody to be able to come and join in a Q&A this evening. So, but I will adjust that. So thank you so much, you guys. If you come back this evening, when I get off here again, like I said, you guys can check the social media from Facebook, Twitter. I'll put it all and say, hey, look, the Q&A, the prime time, Q&A prime time will be at such time. And then I'll put your time zone there. So, but thank you so much, Ryan, for that super chat. Like I said, you guys, that really means a lot to me and my family as well, because I know my family has my back for everything I'm doing here as well. So thank you so much. God bless you. Also, thank you, OG Jitterbug, for being here. Good morning to you. Thank you for your constant prayers. Thank you, Jennifer, for being here as well. You're still praying for answers. Thank you so much. Daniel's out there somewhere. I really thank you so much. God bless you as well. Also, thank you, Rachel, for being here. Good morning to you as well. Tea and Wildflowers, thank you so much. Okay, I have another super chat here. Thank you so much. Again, I think this may be the same one, but thank you so much. Yes, same one here, but thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you again, Nissa. Thank you so much. Rachel, again, thank you so much for being here as well. DJ Moore, thank you for being here this morning. Good morning to you. Who we have here? Pacific Breeze, thank you so much for being here. Amber, thank you for being here as well. Amber Overton, thank you so much. God bless you. You guys have any questions, please? Thank you, Sean, for being here. You guys have any questions, please, by all means, put the word question there before you question. Capital letter Q. It's something like that. That will help me. Some question marks to help me find your questions. I will be coming down. Thank you, Boo, for being here. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. God bless you. And thank you, Candy Kane. Thanks so much for being here. Good morning to you as well. All right, let's see if I have any questions here, you guys. If you have them, and also I forgot about this part. To help the algorithms to get this channel out a little farther, you guys got me up to 2,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. God bless you. The more people I get, the better. Tell your friends, tell your family. Just hey, they want to come on. Just please, if you can get them on, just to hit that like, share, subscribe, or some comments on, or just comment at least once. That help the algorithms on this channel. Get Daniel's channel, get this channel out farther, to be able to get Daniel's story out there as well. Like I said, you guys, I'm really still pushing. It's hard to get families on here, but I'm really pushing to have other families to talk more. I did it before in the past. I want to be able to get families to tell their story as well. So this channel need to grow to try to make sure I reach out to as many families as I can, to get as many families as I can, their story out as well. And also, like I said, my main goal is to get Daniel's story, keep it going. I am Daniel's media. I have to keep his story going. I have to keep his story from dying out out there. So of course, sometimes things come on the news cycle. It go on for a while because they want it's new and they're gonna talk about it. But then after a while, of course, you guys don't see Daniel's story posted all over the place, right? They look for I need something new. I need something new. So that's what this YouTube channel for. It's not necessarily going to always be something new. It's going to be telling Daniel's story. I want you guys to encourage other people to learn more about Daniel's story. So some of you will hear the same thing over and over again, but the main goal is I'm trying to reach that person or persons that may know something. I need Daniel's story reached out from the East Coast to the West Coast, the West Coast to the East Coast, North and South, to be able to reach those persons. It need to be out there. It need to be out there. So I need your help to do that. So hit that like, share, subscribe button before you leave. That really would help. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Sophia, for being here as well. Good morning to you. Thank you, team. I really appreciate Shauna and Sophia. Thank you so much to my team for being here as well. Shauna has something here. Have you heard? Have you heard something? Say something. Did you see something? Say something. You can remain anonymous. There's a tip line you guys see on the bottom of the screen. The good part about the tip line is it's just for that person. I pay for the tip line 24 hours, 7 days a week. Live operators will take your call. They'll allow you to be anonymous if you want to be. Like I said, if you guys don't even want to talk to a person, you can also text the word tip to that phone number without talking to anybody and still remain anonymous if you like and give your tip. But it's definitely, if you hear something, say something. It's been over a year. I need a closing point for my family, and we need some closure. So we definitely need you to utilize that tip line if you know something, have heard something. And that's the importance, again, you guys, like I said, to reach out to as many people as you can about Daniel's story, because that one person thought I had found Daniel already. They knew something. Well, no, Daniel still is missing. So I need you guys to share his story, no matter where you are in this country. Share his story, and this one way of doing it through the YouTube. Word of mouth is more powerful than any news organization. No, word of mouth, get things out, put on your social media, and be able to, like I said, get Daniel's story out, because I really need that. Really need that to reach those persons. Thank you, Shauna, for also saying this as well. Thank you for sharing Daniel's story. Your work to find Daniel is appreciated. And this comes from one of my teams. Shauna is also the executive secretary for the Daniel Robinson Foundation. So you guys, thank you so much, Shauna, for putting this out. Also, when asking questions, please put the capital letter Q, questions, the word question, or the question mark for Mr. Robinson can see it easily. So thank you again, Shauna, for putting that up as well. Pacific Breeze have a question here. You guys, just like Pacific Breeze had a big question mark, you can do the same, or the word question. Where did Daniel do his shopping? I'm not sure that where he would be doing shopping outside of, I know he goes so a couple places he like to eat, but as in shopping for clothing and things like that, I would assume, of course, I wouldn't know which mall, and there's a lot of malls in Arizona, especially around Tempe, and as well as Phoenix. Daniel hanging around Phoenix a lot. His sister was living in Phoenix at the time, and so he's also, like I said, a resident of Tempe. So I'm not sure exactly where he would go shopping, but say maybe some answers can be found this way. And I can say that from his bank statements and stuff like that, we can find that information out. So I do have tons of his. Of course, we have to keep that bank statements and stuff like that. And still, to this date, seeing any kind of movement in his bank account and things like that, which is zero, to be able to, determine some stuff. So definitely, you're right. Definitely Pacific Breeze. That would be one way, or one angle to look at things. All right. Also, Esther, thanks so much for your question. You guys, you had the word question there first. With all of the CCTV in Arizona route from Daniel's home to his workplace, do you know if Buckeye Police Department checked all CCTV? If not, who could you contact to check this? Do you know? Buckeye Police Department claimed they did, and they said they found zero evidence that this I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna say it the way I feel it. Zero evidence that Daniel ever even lived in Arizona. And I'm being facetious when I say this. My son been riding around for almost 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, with a cloaking device on himself and on his vehicle, because they did not find any video footage, according to them, nowhere, Daniel, except for the Waffle House. When they went there, of course, they said they have video footage of him when he was at this gas station. This is all the day before, and then the morning. But anything, him riding down the road to a traffic light. They even show that he actually went up to Sun Valley Parkway or all that kind of stuff. They're claiming they didn't have it. And the reason why that don't happen, you guys, Esther, is because if you're going to make it a criminal case, they don't have to do nothing. You guys can look that up. As long as they can keep my son just a missing persons case, they by law don't really have to do anything for Daniel. And they're showing they don't have to. They're not doing that kind of work. They're not spending that kind of money, that kind of time on Daniel. I was told by an attorney in the past when I was first looking for an attorney, says they don't want Daniel's case before they told me they had no leads to follow and they was going towards that way, no more leads to follow, and they had no case, they're not investigating. They want the department to be all about Daniel. Boy, the day was wrong when they ran into Mr. Robinson, because I've been in Arizona for over a year on the press, on doing everything I can, press conference to you name it, putting all that on them and made the department all about Daniel. You guys have been calling and whatever you've been doing, calling them and answer questions, whatever case it may be, writing these letters. Yeah, y'all made the department all about Daniel. They department have been on the news medias to you name it. It is about my son. You know what? I'll turn over everything. I'll just put it that way. I'll say something, but I'll do what I have to do to fight for me and mine, my son. Oh yes, my children. Yes. So my family. Oh yes, that definitely no doubt about it. And you guys, like I said, have been the tools to that. But to your question there, we tried. That's the first thing my family and I, my daughter and myself, we was out when I first got in Arizona. Sitting down with the Buckeye Police Department. That's the first thing we asked, those type things. Camera footage, 0. Cell phone pings, 0. You can, everything that we asked for, they magically say they couldn't get. So I put it that way. Ruthie Player, thanks so much for being here. Can still hear you. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for that. Also, thank you, Lois, for being here again. If you have any questions, please put the capital letter Q, the question, the word question, or the question marks. Thanks so much for also moderating, Lois. Thanks so much for being a moderator. And I really appreciate that. You guys, like I said, if you can put the word question there, question mark or capital letter Q before your questions, that really helped. I see the question marks here from Tracy. Thanks so much, Tracy, for your question. Where was the paint transfer located on the vehicle? It's on the passenger side, near the front wheel well. On that side of the vehicle, the side that you guys seen the vehicle lying down on the ground, the part that was on the ground itself. One thing for sure, there's nothing red in that desert. I know I had a content creator felt that the red transfer paint came from a fence. I did see that footage from Google that was in February. I believe it was before Daniel went missing. He went missing in June. And the thing was, I really kind of looking at scrutinized that picture. I did disappear. I went back out there again, look at this fence. This fence don't seem like it being replaced or anything. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert at looking at that. But one thing is, I can say when I look at the background, I'm really concerned if that was actually the same entranceway. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say it's not. It's just that some reason, I don't know why that picture portrayed that was red paint on that fencing. When in fact, like I said, I got there, you guys, when I got there June 26th, you know, the first thing I did is a couple things. I went to Buckeye Police Department, went out to reach out to I went to the NAACP first. I'm a black man, so of course that's one thing I was doing, going out to the NAACP to try to get some help, as well as the Red Cross, as well as almost every day going out to that desert. I was going out there, my daughter and I. And I sit on the side of that road almost every day, not every day, but almost every day with my binoculars, because I was taking advice of the Buckeye Police Department not going past that gate to go in there. And I promise you, there was no red transfer paint or any paint on that fence. I've been out there a lot, spent a lot of time out there. I don't see any evidence or anything that shows that the fence being replaced just because of some red paint, right? So that type deal. But anyway, but yes, it's located on that passenger side near the front wheel well. So thanks so much for that question. You have the question here. Is the well site the future plant for Taiwan syndicator plant that is planned to be built? I'm not sure. about that because I've been hearing a lot of things. But one thing I know, the Howard Hughes Foundation, as well as I think it's Jeff Bezos, one of them guys, rich, super rich dudes, along with the Howard Hughes people, is building what they call as a super city, right in that area where Daniel went missing. I do hear that, and they are really actively to the date putting in a lot of wells, for whatever reason. And so the plan was it's supposed to have broke ground last year in January. This year in January. And there's, at the time, I was talking to some of the developers, and it was like they were trying to push me out of the desert in December last year. And so I really was, but I know there's supposed to be some future plans for that. Some kind of smart city that's moving out of Buckeye. Buckeye's growing, you guys. Buckeye's growing. You guys, the Buckeye Police Department Chief Hall got suspended. One quit because he's probably going to go. I don't know, going to get fired, go to jail, or what the case may be. But they've been falsifying documents, you guys. Like I said, that department is known for falsifying documents and the crime statistics, because Buckeye is growing, of course, and a lot of crime, and they don't want to be betrayed. That's the reason why I believe the city council and the mayor didn't give a damn out there finding human remains out there in my searches, out there looking for my son who's been missing in that area, because they was hoping that it died down and go away because it made Buckeye look bad, like a crime area. Don't try to hide crime when crime happens. If crime happens, you need to clean it up. Don't do like Chief Hall was saying out there, grandstanding the Saturday after that vehicle showed up, talking about the cartels is bad in that area. And they land their planes at night on Sun Valley Parkway, drop their drugs off and take off, whatever the case may be. Don't just talk about things like that. Do something about it. If you're the police department in that area, do something about the crime, right? And don't hide it. Do something about it. And the sad part is, I feel they know a lot of things happen out there in that area. They need to go out there with the FBI and those federal lands out there. My son's vehicle was found, and get the FBI out there, and they need to go find these people's remains. We've been finding them. The Buckeye Police Department hadn't done that. They've been out there on these searches. They haven't found a construction cone. I like to use that analogy. They haven't found a construction cone out there, a pink elephant, nothing out there in the desert. But we have regular old people, grassroots searchers, myself with a passion to find my son. We've been finding things and bringing closure to other people's family. So thanks so much, Ruth the Player, as well, for the hashtag fast and prayer for Daniel, you guys. I really appreciate that. I've been needing all of the prayers I can. I believe in fasting. So thank you so much, Ruth Player, for putting that out as well, the hashtag. Question here from PM Channel. Will you be able to check the well where all the debris is located, or will it remain inaccessible? I'm really pushing for the FBI for that one. I'm really pushing the Maricopa County for that one. I gave them all this information, you guys. It's not something that's not out there for the police department. Nobody's jumping on or acting on it, right? They just pleasing the bulk over. Well, this is this person's jurisdiction, this, that, blah, blah, so on, so on. No, you're a law enforcement officers. You're a peace officer, whatever the case may be, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever title you want to give yourself, you put your hands up, or however they ever do it, and you sworn to protect the citizens of your citizens, period. I think it's when they come to this jurisdiction, sometimes I think law enforcement officers like to hide behind jurisdiction stuff when they don't want to do something. They'll hide behind jurisdiction lines in a minute. They'll throw all kind of hurdles and all kind of stuff there. But let it be in one of their own. Let it be in one of their children. All those hurdles and jurisdiction lines and all the crap wouldn't mean shit to them. Excuse my expression. That's how I feel about it. It wouldn't mean nothing. You will never hear that. You will never hear when it came to that case, you guys know the really public, they got down in Florida, and you heard about all these law enforcement agencies from all across this country, from states that ain't had nothing to do with it, showing up to help go find these two people. One of them was a murderer. They ain't cared about no jurisdiction line. They're doing all that stuff for people who they want to do that for. If you're not one of the people they want to do that for, trust me, they're gonna hide behind jurisdiction lines, and we can't do this and blah blah blah. All this, all this whatever bureaucracy type crap. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. That's what law enforcement does. So what I'm saying is, it's all about what they want to do. It's not what they can't or can do. They can do what they want to do. Law enforcement can do anything they want to do. They can get together with another law enforcement agency and make things happen. They just don't want to. You know what I'm saying? So you'll see some of the things that's not happening in my son's case. It's not because law enforcement can't do it. They just don't want to do it. They don't, like the man said, they don't want my son's case to be, the department to be about my son's case. Because my son is not that important to them as much as he is important to me, important to you guys who have been showing up from day one. I mean, just really helping my family out, helping me out, been out there struggling with me in the searches to, you name it, donating your money, time here on Q&A, all this stuff. So it's not important to them, but it's important to us. I really thank you guys. Anissa, thank you so much. I really want to become become an ambassador. Thank you so much. I really like hearing that as well. Is that still possible? Yes, it is. Matter of fact, tomorrow I will be adjusting that time as well. But it'll be reflected on. It was at 5:00 p.m. of course, every Thursday Arizona time. I think I would push that back to 4:00 p.m. or sometime or maybe 6. I have to really adjust that time because of the time change to try to make it easier for everybody. But definitely, yeah, tomorrow evening, Anissa, it's gonna be roughly around between 4 and 6 Arizona time, and but you'll see that change as well on the website today for the ambassador program. What I do is I have a Zoom link there. You just go on to the pleasehelpfinddaniel.com website. Let me see if I can pull that up so you can see what I'm talking about here. Go to the website and just hit that button there, and there will be all the stuff going to be updated, you guys. Like I said, I've been traveling and moving around, but I want to update it as well. But I'm going to get this to you real quick so you guys can see. Anybody else who want to be an ambassador, I really need that. I'm trying to find a different way. I did talk to some last meeting from Luke Air Force Base. One of the gentlemen there gave me some suggestions that I'm really taking on to, is that most people probably don't want to come to a Zoom meeting. So I said, okay, well, we're gonna try to make sure it's. I'm put some information there for email. But you come out to the Please Help Find Daniel, Alyssa. You come to the Please Help Find Daniel website, and all you do is scroll down here. You see down the bottom where it says "Circle Around Zoom Meeting." We'll resume November 3rd. I need to change that as well. I need to update. So you guys have to do some updates on the website today. But definitely, it'll be here. It'll have the. It just says Zoom meeting. Here, click here down, down here, log in here. But anyway, you come out here, you see it's a flyer distribution ambassador. If you are interested in becoming a volunteer ambassador for the flyer distribution in your city, please join me via Zoom to discuss. Zoom will be every Thursday at 5:00 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's 8:00 p.m. on the East Coast. Of course, like I said, I'm trying to move that, adjust that. Well, I probably can keep it the same because I know that Arizona time stays the same, and I'll still be at 5:00 p.m. So I may keep that the same. Zoom link is below due to the schedule conflict that was last week. You guys, like I said, I had to update. That's why I had to redo this. But this, we hit the Zoom button here, Anissa. When you hit that Zoom button, of course, it'll take you to the Zoom. If you have Zoom, and then I will be there on the other side waiting on you. So. Of course, it's a 30-minute thing. I try to stay on for about 30 minutes. You guys, if you come at 5:30, I may be gone. Sometimes I try to hang on there a little longer. If nobody shows up, I'm going definitely at 5:30. Someone shows and may go over a little longer. We may be extended after 5:30. So you guys can always know there's a 30-minute deal. Whatever time I start, and then any time after that, it would be kind of here and there if I'm there longer. So thank you so much for answering that question. You said I have watched hundreds of cases, but this case has captured my heart and attention. Thank God. I really appreciate that. I'm being drawn to it. I want to help more, and I really appreciate that, Neil. So thank you so much. God bless you for that. The help. I need all the help I can get. So thank you so much. God bless you for helping and your desire to help. God put that on your heart, and I really appreciate that. So, and I do have my team member, Shauna. She's putting this information here for you. Yes, we need ambassadors. Info meetings at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Thursday links. She had a link there for you guys in chat. So I have my moderators there as well. Like I said, you guys, the team is there to answer some of your questions in the chats. So I really appreciate it. Thank you, Shauna. Unsolved cases, thank you so much in the news. You would like to help with this case, as I have new YouTube channel starting very soon and looking for someone with Daniel's timeline. Yes, you can hit me up. You get information definitely on pleasehelpfinddaniel@yahoo.com. My team or myself will reach back out to you. So please help find Daniel at yahoo.com. Thank you so much for that. All right. And let's see here, who else I got here. All right, let's see. If anybody have any more questions, I definitely want to be able to answer those. And I really appreciate it. And I thank you, Sean, for putting that up for unsolved cases. I thank you so much for answering. Like I said, you guys, you have some of those things. The moderators will be there. My team members are there also in the chats. And they will be talking on my behalf as well. Catch some of those things. If you guys don't have a question specifically about Daniel case, saying they definitely there to get information. So you can get it there as well. All right. So thank you, Sacktown Stamper. Thanks so much for being here. And God will lead us to. He definitely will come through. I'm really gonna have the faith and continue to believe. Continue to believe that. L. Siebert, thanks so much for being here. Where was the car found? It was found almost about 3 miles, roughly 3 miles or so away from the job site, out there in the Sonoran Desert, a little farther out there from the well site. But it's found almost 30 days later. So July the 19th, by the way. All right, here's another question here from Rachel. Thank you, Rachel. If Daniel went missing during work hours on a work site, shouldn't the job be held more responsible? Yes. I'm confused how they are so hands off. Well, that's one thing that's related. I'm gonna tell you like this, you guys. Just like I'm not waiting on I'd rather work with the police department. I'd rather work with people. When I say work with people, it may sound kind of condescending, but I like them to work with me as well, right? Because this is my son. And so in my mental state, I don't wait on people if they're going to try to do something for me and mine or not, right? I believe in just doing things yourself sometimes. You just have to go out and do it. So my concentration is, hey, this dude said they were going to go search for my son. They turned down a helicopter search. I asked them to go. I'm in South Carolina, 2,000 miles away from Arizona at the time. And you telling me you're not going to go out there and look for my son. I'm going to come up there regardless. They say, hey, we couldn't find your son. They would have went out there and looked. I'm still on that plane, drive, whatever the case may be. I still come up there to see about my son. It was going to happen regardless, right? Until they found him, unless they would say, oh, we found him, okay, and I'll talk on my phone, man, what you doing, man? You okay, blah, blah, so on, and that would have been fine. I'll see you this summer because I'm supposed to be coming in July. But if it was anything else like it was, like I said, they say, hey, he's missing, we can't find him. Soon as they said that, we actually actively looked and we couldn't find him. Yeah, I was still coming anyway. I was coming to Arizona. So what I'm saying, to go back to this, anybody know if you own a business and your employee go missing on the duty of the job itself, it is your responsibility to go look for that person. I ain't mean go to the sister house, one of his friends from the job, go see if he over his sister house. I mean coming out to the searches when the dad decided to put them searches out there to go look for his son. You showing up the search and kind of give a hand, open the gate for people, help directing them into the area where I'm having everybody meet. Now I ain't talking about that. I'm telling you, talking about taking resources, and as soon as it happens, you calling the police department and putting in the missing person report and going out there and searching and doing everything. With all this money you got, these resources that the father shouldn't have had to go charter some helicopter himself to go look over an area or a plane or get some cadaver dogs. No, they should have been doing all of that on day one, right? But you know what? Like I said, my mind's not there. I know those things to be true. The facts, the family would say the same thing. But my main focus is to find Dane. Some people say, hey, do you think this person is liable? This person that my concern is right now is to make sure that these people go look for my son. I'm looking for my son and make sure. So that's what my mind is. But who's to say that, yeah, they are accountable or responsible for everything that people do. You're responsible for what you do. So I can put it that way. So yes, I agree with you on that. Daniel was missing on their time. I would say a company should have been out there doing that, what they should have done. All right. Specific breeds, have you asked for well fishing tools? No, I have. Well, I actually had a company go into that well to look. So those tools will help search wells. We had a companies in there in Investigative, California, would help you with those type of tools. We did. We had the camera go down. That's why I was able to get the footage, Pacific Breeze of those wells. That's why I was able to find some of those things in those wells. So we did have a person. What he does, the company does, they do well inspections, and so the deal was to get the owners of those wells a free well inspection, so I can be able to go down and look into those wells. All right. And so we did completed those 2 wells, but we do have some 2 mines that still need to be searched, and have some issue with the Bureau of Land Management on that. They stopped talking with me and said, hey, you need to turn or go through law enforcement, whatever the case may be, because on federal land, Daniel vehicles on federal land, and as well as the fact that, like I said, those wells are controlled by Bureau of Land Management, BLM. So, but they definitely need to be searched as well. Get the right people to do that. All right, let's see here. If I have any more questions, you guys, is getting to that half mark. You guys have any questions, please, like I said, put the word question there before your questions, question marks. I can see them as they're coming down. I may miss some things you guys have to say here. Do you hear somewhere Daniel was told to not go to the second well site? Oh, did I hear somewhere? Okay, yes, you did hear something similar to that, Wendy. What it was is that Daniel, the guy that was waiting on Daniel, supposedly waiting on Daniel at the second well site. Daniel was at the first well site, according to his job. I don't have any evidence to say all of this, only by the metadata that's on the picture from Daniel's phone. That suggests yes, his phone's at this well site taking pictures of the logs. Outside of that, he did receive a voicemail from Ken, the guy who's waiting on him at the second well site, not to come up there because of some fueling issue with a vehicle, with a fuel truck that's supposed to come out and do some fueling, right? I'm gonna back this up real quick, you guys, because you guys, I'm saying, you just brought up, made me think of something real quick, and I want to throw this out to the public as well. Some things I'm saying, you guys, when you say hear all these inconsistencies with the stories, right? One thing that dawned on me when you said that, asking about that, but yeah, to answer your question real quick though, there was some issues where he said, hey, he said don't come. He said, you don't rush up here, basically, because the fuel is about some fueling issue. Don't come right now, in other words. Now things mean totally. I'm not sure the way I listen to it when I hear it. But if you guys think about it, if this fuel truck supposedly had came to that well site, right, and to give them fuel, obviously, would that fuel truck be making some tracks on that road as well, right? This guy said that one part of the story, you tell one officer that they was checking the weather app. He was sitting there looking at the weather app, and him and Daniel having a discussion about the weather. He's looking at the weather app to see if it's going to rain. It wasn't raining. He was going to see if it rained. But then you hear another report that say it was raining, right? It was raining all day. It was raining. And it must have washed away everybody else's trip except for Daniel's, right? So let's say this fuel truck came in. Now, if you listen to the story, it wasn't raining until Daniel left, right? So why didn't it wash Daniel's tracks away as well? So those kind of things are very, very, I'm telling you guys, I've been in that desert in and out, and I gave you guys videos where you see tracks looking fresh and new. That probably happened the week prior, the month prior. They don't just disappear from rain. They have some monsoon season. I've seen it rain in the desert out there, and I still see tracks that we had just from our searches from areas I know vehicles not just traveling, and they're still there. So I really have. That's another thing. I'm gonna go deeper into that a little bit later on, but it just kind of dawned on me when I thought about that fuel truck. I would like to see that one as well. That's a heavier vehicle. Did I hear somewhere? Yes, you did hear that partially. Pacific Breeze have a question here. Mr. Robinson, do you think Daniel could be a victim of human trafficking? That is possible as well. I had another investigator. You guys, I'll say it like this. When I was doing my investigation, I'm doing my investigation. It's like a lot of parts. Buckeye Police Department supposed to be doing the investigation, supposedly had. I was doing my own personal investigation. I hired a private investigator who also did his investigation. So that's 3. Then I had another investigator as well that I don't ever talk about till now. He's also a PI, and that's what he specializes in. My son is part of a database where face recognition database right now, It's been going on for over a year now. If my son was somehow show up on an ATM or show up at a store that's under the system, his face would be recognized and it would come back immediately and I would get the alert. So to this date, it had never happened. We got some false alerts. When I say false alert, people that look similar to him, to Daniel, but it wasn't Daniel. So I still have that's ongoing right now. Y'all don't hear me talk about it until now, but yeah, that's one other angle I'm at. And this person, like I said, deals with a lot of human trafficking and things like that. So that's his expertise into that. So I don't talk about that person, and I'm not putting out his name. It's because of that, what he does. So the thing is, I do have other angles and stuff where I'm looking for my son. I look for my son in all kind of different directions. I don't have to put everything out in the public, but I do a lot of things to look for my son. And a lot of people I know that does same. But as in the human trafficking, what you're saying, yes, he showed me himself. That's a highly human trafficking area. Also, human trafficking, also drug corridor. Buckeye area. So some parts of Phoenix as well. And the thing is, so yes, there's a lot of that going on out there that way. Personally, I haven't seen. I've been doing searches out there, and that, like I said, over 40 some weeks of searches and covered all this land. I have yet to see anything that would be marked as some kind of activity going on out there. Kind of far away from the border. People say, "Oh man, is that close to the border where Daniel was missing?" I would say close enough. I think it'd take like an hour or so just to even drive from that point south to even get to the border. So it's a good distance, just get the border of Mexico. So there's a lot of things do go on in Arizona. Period. Arizona have a high missing person rate. And just one of those states. I'm telling you guys, I'm pushing this. I'm being an advocate for a lot of things. I'm tired, but it ain't just about my son. It's about these other families too. Like, it don't make sense in 2022. You still got people missing in the United States and they can't find nobody. They claim they can't, but they can find Osama bin Laden and all these other people and go kill them in somebody else's country, but they can't find their own citizens. I don't believe that. And I'm pushing about a lot, especially states like Arizona. Like I said, there shouldn't be no relying on some weak behind Buckeye police department. Some police officers don't know what they're doing, don't know how to investigate, don't know none of that stuff. Trying to find missing persons. There should be a department in that state that's definitely been funded well. All they do is look for missing people. All they do is have the equipment and everything they need to go do these searches for these families. So that's what I'm pushing for. I'm pushing for that, not just for Arizona, for all these other states who have high missing persons cases, situations going on. All right, have a question here. I hope I didn't miss the rest of that question, but Al Silver, what is the name of the company Daniel worked for? It's called Matrix New World, also called Matrix Southwest Groundwater. You can look that up as well. Amber S., thank you for your question. Did Daniel use prosthesis? Not as an adult. When we was younger, yes. Here and there, off and on. Daniel would not. He refused to wear it. On certain situations, he may. But yeah, he refused to wear prosthesis. He definitely wanted to be himself. He loved being himself. Daniel's his personality is so explosive. If you're just looking at he engaged you so much, you'd be just looking at him, and you probably actually, believe it or not, miss that he have a missing hand. So there's a huge community of amputees and prosthesis users who might be able to help to keep eyes in different arenas. Yes, I definitely like to hear more about that community, because I'm reaching out to every community I can. Especially, that's why I told you guys, getting these flyers out, getting this information out on social media is crucial, because like I said, communities like that definitely help out. Daniel, like I said, he's just a person that prefer not to have prosthesis. So, but yeah, especially as an adult. He's a child, his mother, she's always pushing a little more. Of course, she's concerned as a mother about children, right? Other children. So we try to help him out as much as possible, make it easier for him as well. She was looking at that as well. But the thing is, he refused to use it most times. All right. Wendy, thank you so much. Thank you for your service. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. Have you check the pings on his phone? I asked for those pings. Those things had to be done by, you had to get a warrant for them and stuff like that. These phone companies will not move. would not move on that to give that kind of information. The Buckeye Police Department came up straight up. They told me and my family, my daughter, that they was going to look for. That's the first thing we asked for. Came out to Arizona. I came out there, and they said, "Yeah, we're going to go, reach out to the company and get the cell phone ping data." Very happy to hear that. Just like they said they were going to do the search, same thing happened. Well, the higher ups, he said no. They changed. They unauthorized it. It ain't going to happen. Sat down in the interrogation room with them. I mean, that's funny, you guys. I'm saying this for a reason. Only person I know that been in the Buckeye interrogation room was my daughter and myself. I didn't realize that. I never been in interrogation room, never been in jail like this and stuff like that. So I don't know anything about other than seeing it on TV. I don't know, never been in some interrogation room. But when the hindsight looking at it, they had us come in the back of the police department, park in the back, had us come through some back door. And when I think about it, looking at it, I was like, we was in the freaking interrogation room. But anyway, sitting in that interrogation room, of course, that's when I heard them tell us, they gave us an empty promise, and then tell us that higher up, his name is Sergeant Hanneman or something like that, saying, well, we can't get we won't be able to get those pings because if we was to apply for a warrant, judge wouldn't give it to us or something out of it. It had to be a criminal case or something out of it. I'm like, so we did try. We did try to get those things, and like I said, everything we asked for was, okay, well, we can't get that. Where's the camera footage? Can't get that. Okay, well, we found out you got this Uconnect, this vehicle. Well, they say they checked into that. Can't get that either. So everything we asked for, the Buckeye Police Department claim they can't get. All right. Lynn, and it's been over a year now, you guys. I'm sure they're gonna wait till it all go away in the phone company or something. They're waiting on that. I'm sure. I don't know how long they hold on to that kind of stuff, the phone companies, but I'm sure they're waiting on that. Is there proof that Danny being at the well site, any well site that morning? Picture logbooks, phone records, etc. On the well site that we can kind of put Daniel at, like, with proof from himself, not from somebody's word, is their first well site. Is that possibly put him there. And when I say possibly put him there, because of the picture that was taken at that well site, as in pings and stuff. We don't have that. No proof of that. We have no footage of that. Do we have footage of somebody? And you guys, I have. I'm gonna tell you what I know. I'll tell you guys, first of all, I keep saying this over and over again, and I'm gonna say it funny. Welcome, Buckeye. Thank you for coming into this morning Q&A as well. The Buckeye Police Department watching. The police department, they're watching this Q&A. I'm sure they're watching right now. Thank you for being here. One thing is you guys have been pushing, like I said, about this. They gave me. I was sitting on Q&A. I just say like this. I was on the Q&A one morning, and I was going off about. I've been asking this Buckeye Police Department for this so-called. They told me video. All this stuff. All of a sudden, you guys, there was video. They said this is right. We got video of Daniel at this Waffle House. We got video of him at this gas station. Well, produce those things. I asked for the videos, a copy of the videos from the Waffle House. They didn't give me a video. They gave me some pictures, right? Some pictures they took other videos. I said, what happened to the videos? Then they all said, oh, no, we just had pictures. So the Waffle House gave y'all pictures of the video. I don't believe that either. Other part is, where's this video that you say you have of the gas station? So I've been talking about that on this Q&A one morning, and I was going off about it. I said, hey, it's been 3 months. This guy said he's going to give me this, blah, blah, blah. He didn't do it. I was talking to you guys about it. And that night, I promised you guys, probably almost close to midnight, the Buckeye Police Department sent me those pictures of the video again of my son's vehicle supposedly at this gas station, right? But the pictures are so blurry, I don't know if that's my son or not. I don't know who that is standing, or even if it's his vehicle. If they want to say that vehicle that was there 2 to 3 days before it showed up in that desert out there, it wasn't his vehicle on the side of the road, and they're so sure about that in the blurry picture. Why they're not sure about why they're not sure about that one that's in 2 or 3 days prior before it showed up in the desert, but they are sure about this blurry pictures they got of this vehicle that looked the description of Daniel sitting at a gas pump. I don't even know what this gas pump is. I'll try to get the metadata on that. I don't see nothing on there that say that this picture is authentic or it came from that gas pump. So I'm going to say, for the sake of police integrity, say that's where the picture came from that gas station. But yet, who's to say that was Daniel at that gas pump pumping that gas? So I don't know. The picture don't do no justice of that. So whole point is I'm saying is anybody could be standing there pumping gas or the vehicle is sitting there. I don't know. But as in proof of what Daniel being there at the well site and things like that, the only thing we have is, like I said, from his cell phone. That stuff I was able to retrieve before it got sent to this other law enforcement lab where they, are looking into the phone. They finished with that and to be able to determine some more stuff, right? So. Let's see, small town PI. Thanks so much for being here. Has your PI had a change to the house and a young lady's in that house that he met? I can't get the house out of my head. Oh, I had a chance to eye the house. Okay, be able to see it. I don't know. My former PI, by the way, I don't know. He never said he actually been to her house, but he said he spoke to this lady. What's very disappointing is, well, I'm gonna leave that alone for right now. But definitely, yeah, he said he spoke with her. He had to have a conversation, but hasn't been to her house. He didn't ever suggest it to me. Let's see here. Well, one of the things do about that house as well, small town PI, is that I never understand. Daniel told me himself, so he was there at this young lady's house. What I don't understand, young town PI, small town PI, is that to this date we don't know who the second person is, right? If they were doing this thorough and they really was caring about why they're sticking on this one girl, they're sticking on this one person and didn't want to go farther than that. What I'm saying is, if they put in her text message in their report, there's two people there. I want to see the corroboration. I want to hear what this other person says in the sense, on the oath in the sense. I want to see what this other person said that was there also to witness my son there. My son even told me out of his own mouth on the phone call a few days before he went missing that there was two women there when he spent the night there in that house. So I want to know who this other person is, why they're hiding her, whoever she is, etc. So you guys, it's a lot to that. I need to see what happened in transaction with that. Daniel wasn't just talking to this one person. He talked to both of these people. He talked to both of them. He delivered that wine to both of them. They were so excited. He told me that he was able to fix their order or whatever the case may be. So yeah, it's a lot of things transaction when it comes to that place with the young lady. And what I'm saying, you guys, is that everything need to be looked into. I don't think I do kind of feel sometimes that this whole thing with that young lady may be a distraction, but everything need to be looked into when it comes to these people, these last few days and time that my son went missing. So everything need to be looked into. Could be a jealous boyfriend that came in. Maybe the other woman, has some things, will come up to the job site or met him somewhere and set him up. I don't know. They need to look into that. We got to look into every aspect. And the only problem with that, you guys, is that the Buckeye Police Department refusing to make this a criminal case. What other evidence do you need? I mean, we gave them all the physical evidence they can get. We gave them all the reasons. And you see the clothing on the ground. He's been missing over a year, and you still not looking at it as a possible criminal case. You still saying you just want to say it's a missing person. He just set all this up. Daniel threw his clothes on the ground, rolled his vehicle over, did all this stuff just to join a monastery, become a monk, as they suggest, to get away from his family because he didn't want to be around us somehow. No, come on, guys. They need to do a little more than that. All right, here we go. L. Cybert, thanks so much for being here again. Question: will any newly elected leaders get involved and be on board? I'm going to be pushing for that as well. I was hoping that the sheriff was running up for election, but not yet. You guys, I'll be around for a long time, so Arizona need to be buckled up and say this man ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I'm doing everything I can. I'm telling you guys, until I see some of the things that I really need to happen in my son's case, I'm be a net in their ear all the time. I'm gonna be bugging the hell out of them forever till they retire or something. I don't care, whatever the case may be. I'm retired military. I have nothing but time. You know what I'm saying? So the whole point is, I'm saying, you guys, yeah, they mess with the wrong persons if they think that they can just brush off a family. They have been doing it for years. They're justified by, well, I'm doing the best I can. I mean, every family is important, not just Daniel. Every family is important, and they need to treat. I would like to see a department treat a missing person case as their child went missing, or their wife, or another police officer went missing. If they start doing every case like that, then I would have no problem. I could be back and sit back and put my full trust on the police. But I'm just not that kind of guy. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm just not that kind of guy, especially with my children. I'm just a person that got to be helping you. You know, I'm gonna be there with you. If they was doing their job, Buckeye would have been doing their job the way they should have been doing it. It's been on it, on point, and moving forward. I would have been right there on their side with them. We've been all of us working together, working very hard to find what the hell happened to my son and coming to some answers. But it didn't work out that way. Instead of that, they resisted. They stopped communicating with me only when they need something. And that's it. You know, so when that happened, yeah, we lost a lot. Small time PI, have a question. Have you been able to get location data from Instacart? I worked on that as well. No, I have not. Instacart I have not gotten anything. Let's put it that way. I've been trying to all kind of angles with Instacart. When I did have them looking through his phone at the beginning one time before, try to get some information from Instacart. I even went through the app myself on his phone, try to get some information, try to contact Instacart, try to get stuff. I mean, there's all kind of ways. But like I said, I hope this law enforcement side going through his phone yielded some results from that too as well. I would find that out in my meeting that's coming up with that. So to find out what was found. So hopefully they was able to be successful as if it being law enforcement. Sectown Stamper, do you have a lawyer? Yes, I do. I have a lawyer, of course. That's one thing for sure. That was it's hard. They're very expensive, of course. I first came to Arizona, talked to a couple. Had one, I'm not gonna put his name out or a second, but I do have some that definitely was even lending some legal stuff. Because hey, look, man, you know, give some opinions on a legal standpoint. So, but as in hiring one, I do have one, and so very good one. So definitely, yes, definitely got to keep that. Right. Thank you, Larnell, for being here. Also, being a board member, team member. I really appreciate it. Thank you, sir, for being here to support as well, you guys. Thank you so much. All right, I see any more questions here. I'm still coming down, you guys. Like I said, if you got a question, please put the word question there. A capital letter Q, question mark, something like that. I can find it. I did find one here from Wendy. Did I hear here he was told to not go to the second well site? Yes. Again, yes. You know, something similar to that. Not to say don't go, but as in don't come yet, because they have some fuel truck issues or something or other. Another question: were any footprints found around the Jeep? According to Buckeye Police Department, no. They say, "Oh, we don't." Like they're saying he's barefooted. They were telling me that we ain't seen no footprint. We ain't seen nothing. I'm gonna tell you something about that terrain. They feel like my son was barefooted and there was no footprints, right? And then they say they used tracking dogs and cadaver dogs, and they found nothing. But yeah, I was able to get cadaver dogs on three sets of cadaver dogs, all of them peeing on the same tree in the same near that crash site, same area, right? Same place. At 3 different times, 3 different days, and this is all over a couple months later, right? Come from that crash site. But they say with Maricopa County, and this other thing I'm telling you, the point I was trying to go back to earlier, guys, they involved Buckeye Police involved all these agencies they claiming. They said Phoenix Firebird helicopter. They use Maricopa Posse or Civil Air Patrol. Well, I don't even know if they consider agency or not. I think it's just a bunch of retired old guys from the Air Force. But they used them to do a search. Then they said when they also use DPS, right? Department of Public Safety. They say they use DPS when the vehicle's found. They claim they was out there searching. So in Maricopa County, cadaver dogs. They use all their dogs and this and that, right? They was out there. So if they claiming all these people was involved, which I don't see no evidence of, they was involved, wouldn't they be involved in my son's case? There's no problem with the Maricopa County being they already was involved by lending their dogs, they claim. I'm still asking for the information too, on the freedom of information. Like I told you guys, I already searched, I went up there to see if this first search actually happened with this Phoenix Firebird, and to date, Phoenix saying they don't have any record of that, but they're looking. I even have a congressman looking at a commission, one of the guys from the city council members looking into it for me as well to see if this actually happened. So the thing is, I'm saying is, they said they didn't find anything around it. They didn't find nothing. No footprints, no scent, no nothing, right? They didn't even find the skull that we found near that well site. I mean, near that crash site that we found, the volunteers. They didn't find that. So were they really even looking? Did it even happen? That's what all things I always ask the question. You got cadaver dogs, search tracking dogs, and all that out there, and the skull is on a few hundred feet, and them dogs didn't find that. Okay. Now we'll just go with what they put in the report. All right. Thank you so much for this. I seen a comment, and I seen the word Veterans Day, so I'm gonna put that up as I'm looking for a new question. On Veterans Day, thank you for your service. Howard Hughes Corporation broke ground October 28th, 2022 of the master plan community, Tar Velis, Sun Valley Parkway, can the blue wall of silence and the real estate wall of silence be connected to this if possibly? What are your thoughts? My son's job is, my thoughts are a lot on that. My son's job is to check the viability of wells, right? And there's another angle that people always look at as well. Daniel finds something wrong with that. Daniel, like I told you guys, he stands for what he believes in. He been raised up that way. I've come from for instance, he did the Black Lives Matter protest with the Black Lives Matter movement when they were protesting the George Floyd thing, the police brutality, right there in Phoenix. I was very proud of him. He called me from his phone. He out there in the search holding a sign. He did an interview with the news crew. He's going to stand up for what is right. I'm a victim of police brutality. Have scars on my body to this date from police brutality. We didn't have the cell phones and stuff going on up videotape. I lost a lot of friends getting shot in the back by cops for no reason. We stand on the corner just talking about girls as young men in high school, and the police will come out and if you get caught, they beat you down. I got a bloody face and slammed against the hot engine of a car just for getting off a city bus that go inside my apartment. So I'm telling you guys, it's a lot of things like that happen with police departments. And but I was hoping my children had to do it. But I'm saying, to go back to Daniel, is that he definitely believe in fighting for what he believe in. And all right, so if he sees something wrong and he say, hey, look, this water's not right, it's gonna kill some people, or this well is not going to produce the 100 years of water, 200 years of water, 100 years of water that it should. You guys, he gonna say something, because he knows that if these communities build it, they build a community. They don't care about these developers. Don't care about you. They care about their profit. They care about their money, and they care about if they can get this thing up and running, they can sell it to you, get your dough, get your dollars, get you to buy land, whatever the case may be. They don't care about how you're gonna get your water. They don't care if the water drinkable. You find out the water wells are running dry and they can't produce 100 years of water. That's your problem. You got to dig out your pocket in your community to get together and import water from California or somewhere, or wherever the water comes from. Then they don't care about that. They care about making that dollar. So of course, yes, they do need to look into all of that. But yeah, that's another question to be said. But thanks so much for the Veterans Day wishes. I really appreciate it. And if you're a veteran, anybody in your family, thank you for their service as well. Wendy, thank you so much. Question here. I thought Daniel was at the first well site speaking to the coworker Ken, but Ken called him and told him not to rush to the second well site. No, Daniel did not meet anybody at the first well site, and which I think is weird too, because I only get this information from the job. But what's concerning to me is that when Daniel go out to any well site, he always meeting somebody else, right? And he's not control of a well site. He didn't build Matrix don't build a well site. They don't build a well site. Another company does. Matrix, they call Matrix in just to do those things, check the viability of those wells, because by law, got to have certain things. And that company, that's what Daniel's engineering company does. And he got to check the viability of the well, as well as if that water's drinkable and stuff. So he'll take a picture of the laws. I don't know the reasons why. Maybe it's the laws for the company to say, hey, look, because, hey, this I don't know. I don't want to speculate. But the thing is, according to his phone was there taking a picture of a log, right? And but as in persons being there at that first well site and all that, and somebody there, I don't know. That's one thing that's being kept away that we don't have answers to yet. But as in with the second well site, I do know that there was discussion between my son and his company. They're trying to get in contact with him, and then as well as my son, like I said, got a call from the kin from the second well site. Supposedly, the second well site not to come up there, and at the time because of some fuel issues or whatever. And then after that, so like of course, like I said, 9:28, my son called him, but before then, I think it was like 8:50 something. A little before 9, my son was asking for directions in the text message because Ken did not respond to anything that my son was sending to him, no phone call or the text messages. So the laws and things just don't match his timeline. Anyway, the rest of that question, but Ken told him, I said, okay, I'm confused at this. Can you explain that supposedly took place, like what he did, where he was? And that's where it was, saying it was supposedly that nobody, as far as I know, was at the first well site. He just went to go take some logs. Secondly, it was the second well site, which again, like I said, if you listen to what they described to me how to get to the well site, it wouldn't be the well site that I've been led to by Daniel's worker, not the guy that was at the well site waiting on him, but his matrix workers pointed out this other well site and say that is where Daniel was last seen, which I'm finding out now that can't be true. It just don't match everything that was said. Mike, thank you so much for being here. Michelle, I really appreciate it. They are watching. Yeah, they are. Call them out. I want to hear what they have to say to your questions for months. Yeah, I would like the Buckeye Police Department and Tempe and whoever watching to be able to put to say, hey, look, I'm from wherever, and ask your question on this Q&A. You have some questions, please, by all means, ask. I'm right here to answer all the questions to anybody and everyone. So yes, definitely do that. All right, I have running out of time here, you guys. I'm looking down the comment section now. If you guys, I'm trying to rush through right now and see if you all have any more questions. I do have one here, and I'm trying to rush it down because you guys come back this evening. Like I said, when I get off the Q&A today, please check with the not the website, but yeah, check the website also for the possible change in the ambassador program meeting tomorrow, Zoom meeting, and also go to all the social media, whether you're on Twitter. I might even do a TikTok, but Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, right? Just check that today. As soon as I get off, a little while later, because as soon as I get off, I'm gonna start updating these things. The website as well, to see what time the Q&A gonna be this evening. I may keep the same time for Arizona, but I'm sure it's gonna change for the rest of you guys because the time has gone back in most states. So I'll adjust it, try to get it adjusted as well as so. You guys can check that before, saying sometime today, all that'll be taken care of. But anyway, I have a question here from Small Town PI. Yes, sir, everyone is a suspect. Yes, had to be. I want to see what kind of traffic goes through there. Everybody had to be a suspect. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, when I say a suspect, don't say they're guilty of anything. They just need the story need to be vetted, especially this guy who last seen my son. Questions. Does the area of surrounding area have loose sand that could possibly blow over and cover any remains? The photos do not appear to be as it looks like solid ground. Yeah, it's not too loose. I feel like it's rocky. You're talking about the crash site. It's rocky. When I was in Afghanistan, the desert terrain is a lot different. You would not see all this vegetation that you see in Arizona. Arizona desert is very deceiving. That's why, in my opinion, to me, it's a little more deadlier, is because it is deceiving. Because, oh man, look at the vegetation there. It's okay, right? Nah, because and you look at some deserts out there, other countries, and it's nothing. You can see for miles out, and you'll see no vegetation. You'd be like, yeah, across that, yeah, I'm probably gonna die or something, but here it could be deceiving. and it'll kill you. But as in the wind blowing with the vegetation, stuff like that, it's not that much loose dirt unless you're walking on it, sliding down a ravine or something. But other than that, no, not nothing really. Now, one thing I can say about Arizona desert as well is all the washes and ravines, like I said, and that you got to be careful, and the river that runs through there. Dry beds, a bunch of dry bed rivers, but the flash flooding that can come through there from up north, from Flagstaff and all these other places, or wherever the place they be, come from up north. They come downhill and end up in that area, coming down those rivers and washes. Yeah, you got to watch out for things like that because, yeah, you can get, some situation like, or you may get some quicksand or something. But other than that, that's one thing that probably can cover you up or something like that. I'm thinking. Other than that, no. All right, question here from Wendy again. Have they used scent dogs and cadaver dogs? Well, Buckeye claimed they did when they were searching after the vehicles found, not before the vehicles found, but after the vehicles found. They claimed they did that and they come up with nothing. They claimed they used Maricopa counties. But I have in my searches, and no, we didn't come up with anything other than, like I said, near that crash area, we did have dogs that really pinged on one location each time, same place. So I did try to look around that area very well. I have pictures of that tree, that area, trying to find some things. The dogs are kind of looking up in the tree as well. So it's a lot of things about that. But anyway, but according to Buckeye, they haven't found anything with Maricopa County dogs. Amber, have you been able to look any further into the Waffle House scenario? Yes, I have. Still seem off to me that Daniel would take an Uber there if he had his car. It was no thing to say Daniel took an Uber there at all, but he did take an Uber home. But as in getting there, according to him, he walked. But yeah, some of those things surrounding it, I definitely won't be able to put that out. But yeah, definitely, yes, I have some more information because of that. But the things I have gotten from the Buckeye Police Department when it comes to the video footage of that, that's very questionable. From the report that they have, the way they put that report and they wrote it, it don't make sense to the timeline. What they're saying, the happened scenario that they believe that happened, what they put in their report. Because when I look at it, it's an hour missing of things that could happen, and the way Daniel movement was, in my opinion, possibly because it suggests that somebody else was there with him as well. So that's some things I'm looking to on my side of investigating. Thank you, Larnell, for being here as well. Again, Buckeye Police Department isn't incompetent or not capable of handling this type of case, as some say. They willfully chose not to do a proper investigation. Larry Hall, chief again, is chief again, and it's business as usual. It's amazing to me, you guys. I'm glad you mentioned that, Larnell. It's amazing that the Buckeye Police Department have Chief Hall, right, who got fired, got suspended. His assistant or whatever, his counterpart, quit because he probably about to get fired or go to jail. I don't know what the case may be, but they got investigated for falsifying documents, like I told you guys. And that's what happened. Got suspended. Then they let him stay on. Let the Chief Hall stay on. All right. This Chief Hall had ended up getting a part of my son's case. Hindsight later on, of course, chain events. And now that there's a lot of things going on, I did go to the city council meeting, like I told you guys. Instead of and some other things happen in between, but instead of this guy getting reprimanded instead of this guy getting held accountable for some things, to me it's like a promotion. They made him the boss of, like, he moved out of that position of chief. His assistant came up as chief, but then he's still been his assistant's boss because he's part of that city manager, right? And so he went on there for a little while, jumped out of the thing because I guess a lot of things I'm sure I've been saying about this Daniel Robinson, been a lot of scrutiny on him. He jumped out of the police department. Then they got him back as chief again, just like that, right? Once I gave it is ironically to all of this is once I was able to get the electronics they've been begging for, I wouldn't give them when I gave it to this law enforcement agency that I'm working with, and all of a sudden he's back, right? So all of that fits in for a reason. But you guys, yeah, but it's like a reward to come back again to do, like Lionel said, business as usual. All right. When I'm saying that's the blue. The blue, look out for the blue. Wendy Willard Marks. Question: is there any remains in the well? Could it be detected in a water sample? I'm not sure about water sample, but as in remains and if you talk the well that I did the videos of, I did have some forensics experts look at it. I want to say last week or a week and a half ago, and they're not 100% definitive to say what I showed them was a human skull, but they say it's worthwhile looking. Is where they put it, because what they appear, it could be one side of the human skull if it's turned this way, and their idea, it just brings their bells as a possible human skull sitting down at the bottom of that well. So those are things, like I told you guys, I've been put out to law enforcement, and I cannot understand outside of the blue, looking out for the blue, why law enforcement don't have the FBI to come in there. If Buckeye said it was such a great police department, why they're not bringing the FBI into that? All that kind of stuff. The only thing that's more concerned about, I really think they would throw me under the bus as a father before they throw another law enforcement officer like a Chief Hall or some other persons under the bus when they didn't do something right. You know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of thing. So that's what I really think, because it don't make sense to me. We have so much evidence or things or circumstantial evidence or whatever the case may be, and you're not looking into it, period. But anyway, small town PI, any paraphernalia found in his vehicle? No disrespect. And I'm glad you said that, because Daniel do smoke weed. I would not tell you guys that Daniel did not smoke weed. He do smoke weed. And the thing is that it's one of the legal things in Arizona. You go to a dispensary, to wherever. So I'm gonna say he had a plug, whatever. I don't care. He smoked weed, right? And the thing is, as in paraphernalia, no. That's one thing I was asked. Now, that's one thing I did ask from my PI upon his investigation of that vehicle. No drugs, no roaches, no. My son is a responsible young man. The way I tell you guys, I look at it like this. Excuse me, guys, I'm checking out stuff, but he's a very responsible young man, and he go to work. He's not out there smoking weed on the job and all the stuff, as some may try to suggest. Hey, maybe he got hold to some PCP lace marijuana. Where that came from? Where the evidence of that? What would make you even think that? Because what? You thinking that's what he's irresponsible or something like that? He gonna smoke some drugs while he going to work? It's almost like taking a beer and drinking and driving. Like, where he gonna take a beer and go pop a beer at the job, or take a shot of Patron or something while he at work? No, he do that on his leisure time. If you want to smoke weed, he's gonna do that on his leisure time. He's not gonna do it on the job. He's not taking in his car, drinking and driving, or under the influence and driving. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad to know that up front, and I already have that documented, there was no drug paraphernalia or any kind of roach or cigarette butt or whatever case may be. He only smoked cigarettes found in his vehicle. So nobody can sit there and try to plant that as well. So nothing with his DNA would be from that. But definitely no, that was not found. Nothing like that was found in his vehicle. But that's why I was saying, when you guys hear stuff like that, throwing these theories out, those are theories. And theories are theories. People come with theories all the time, and I have theories. Theories are not facts. That's just what you want to believe that's possible. Possible that he got a drug lace, PCP lace thing. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible in life, but not in this situation, because there was nothing like that found in his vehicle. Nothing to suggest that he was smoking something while he was on his job or before he came to work, or whatever the case may be. If you go to his apartment, you might find a marijuana roach or something in his ashtray or something. I don't know. But I mean, what I'm saying? So you can't say that, say without evidence, you're just going to make up some theory to try to throw somebody under the bus, in a sense, throw out some wild conspiracy or something. No, come on now. That don't make sense to me. Stick with the facts. All right. Are there any updates on the computer phone forensics that you can safely share? Not yet. I'm waiting on a meeting for that, and I will be finding information. I'm not sure if even then would I be able to share anything, depending on what those information I find. I'll get information on. Seems like Daniel was a gamer. He is. Are you able to look into any of the gaming platforms to see if someone could have threatened him? At the beginning, I have got a lot of information from the gaming side of things. Some things that was very uncomfortable, as in when I say uncomfortable, there's some things put out. I did the ironically to that, I did a full I don't want to call it an interview, but I don't know what to call it. I don't know what to call it, but I did something with Paramount Films. I did something with, not Paramount Films, I'm sorry. It was AMC Sundance, AMC. And they have yet to bring this out. But one of the things the guy was asking me when I was going through was going through this gaming stuff. And I did have this one guy, he was some kind of crypto something photographer, some kind of thing. I forgot what to call it. But it had some deal with the gaming industry, and he had this thing about looking into the stuff. And there was some talk in the chatter in that about some gaming dealing with Daniel, and again some gaming, something that I guess you do. I don't know how to explain it, but it was some kind of gaming issue that we're looking into, and so there's some things out there as well. So that's part of some deeper stuff into an investigation part that been put to the side, I guess, in the sense it ain't going to farther too much outside of the fact that those things were said. As in looking to it, father, I wouldn't have the capacity. I'm just one man. I'm a father. I don't have the capacity to do it. I don't have a staff, team of experts in forensics, and same thing that Tempe Police Department have, and Maricopa County have the labs they have. I don't have all of that. I don't have the resources either that they have to be able to do all of that, that kind of stuff. But thank you so much for the question. Thank you, Athena, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. God bless you so much for that. I really appreciate that. God bless you for that. Again, you guys, you have been supportive from day one. I really appreciate that. And to do backtrack again, you guys, please go to these websites. Go to these websites for me if you can. You guys want to help, and you want to, let's say, hey, I want to help you, Mr. Robinson, and go to these websites and get these numbers. I'm not gonna put a number on the bottom of the screen, but I'm putting the website up. You guys, please, by all means, if you can, go to this website and contact. This is the Maricopa County website. Like I said again, you guys can go to Maricopa County website and get this information. I will be putting the phone number up later, probably the next Q&A. Just didn't have time, but this is Maricopa County. You go to mso.org, and when the page come up here, you can see the mso.org. You can see down here, you go down, anything, all the information you need, okay, join our team, whatever you guys may want to do on that website. I don't know, that's what they got out for the public. It's a public website. And you come down here and you can find at the bottom of the screen, bottom of the screen, to contact us down here. I always look at the bottom of the screen in the website when I can't find, when I need contact information. I think everybody does that. But anyway, address is there, 550 West Jackson. Jackson is in Phoenix, Arizona, 85003. If you guys can write letters, you guys can go to their social media. Got the social media links here. Guys can make these phone calls. There's a phone number right here, public number. You guys can call these numbers and say, hey, if you guys want to, and want to say, hey, look, Mr. Robinson, we need you to take this case. The Buckeye Police Department has failed. It's a public thing. We all can see that. Everybody, who have eyes and ears, who have eyes can see it, who can hear, got ears can hear what happened in this case. It's a travesty. I'm not here to play any more games with the Buckeye Police, with any police department. I don't care who they are. I'm not here to play any games with anybody. I'm not playing their game. Things not going to be on their terms. It's going to be on, if they want any term, they need to talk to me direct. We're going to have this meeting. I've been promised a meeting from these guys. I'm going to tell you others too. It's upsetting when I could name a person that blocked all of that. But when you have a meeting set up, and these guys tell you almost 2 months ago now, or probably 3 months ago now, we're going to have this meeting. This big meeting, right? Sit down with all these law enforcement agencies. Blah, blah. I've been promised this, you guys. I still haven't got this meeting. And just like police would do, like what Buckeye did when they said they had the FBI briefing, we asked to be there. They'll have these meetings without you, whatever being said. And I'm guarantee it's nothing in your interest. It's all about the blue and how we curve and twist and turn to make things happen the way we want this to happen. In other words, they try to manhandle you. I'm not good on being manhandled. And I told you guys that when I feel like I'm being manhandled, it does make me angrier and make me go do more. It is pushing me and drive me to do more. So they messing around with me when they decide to say they want to try to manhandle the situation. No, it ain't gonna work that way. Trust me, I'm gonna do everything I possibly humanistically can through legal terms to whatever to make things happen. When they do that, it just make it worse instead of better. But they lied to me. It's been months now. I've been waiting patiently, been asking these departments, and they know who they are. They listening, and I've been waiting on this meeting, this big meeting they claim they're gonna give me to sit down and we're gonna discuss how we're gonna go forward with this whole entire thing. Instead of doing that, they did it upon themselves. And again, I'm back at square one with the law enforcement. I'm telling you guys, that's the way law enforcement work. They cannot work together. They'll throw out this jurisdictional stuff when it's convenient, but then they can somehow come together past jurisdiction and have these meetings that would defend the blue. You best believe the attorneys get involved too, you name it. They'll do everything they can to protect just the blue, protect themselves, not the citizens, but protect themselves, right? Whether they're doing something wrong or right or whatever the case may be, they're gonna protect themselves at all costs. And damn you, protect us first, and damn the family and whatever situation is. And we can craft a way to make it appear that we're doing so much, but we're really not. We can do what we want to do and not what you want us to do, basically. So, but I'm saying to you guys, you can go, and I'm saying I'm gonna put a Maricopa County out again. Sheriff of Zone, very humble man, very loving. Really, I really believe what he says. That's why I'm pushing this. I really believe what he says. He'll do anything to help. Man shook my hand. Man looked me in the eye, told me his condolences to my family. How much he hated. He like I said, the way I took it is almost like he reminded me of when I was talking to my first sergeant when I was in the Army, and I was going through a situation at a time, and my first sergeant he was yelling at me at first. He said, "Robinson, damn it, Robinson," excuse me, expression. But anyway, he took his rank off his chest and said, "Hey man, this ain't first sergeant. This man to man, brother, right?" We took it's almost like that, the way Sheriff Zone came off. So I really appreciate him for that. Like I said, putting his staff there to take notes and actually listen to what I had to say, engage and ask questions back and talk back and forth. And actually took his time. Very busy man. Took his time out to sit down and have a conversation. I appreciate that. At the same time, that's not good enough for me. It's not good enough for what I'm trying to do for my son. And in the day, it's not about nobody being nice to me. And the day for me liking somebody or they like me, I don't care about their feelings. I care about my son being found. And whenever they can do something, I know they can do it, and they're not doing it, I have to push it. So I'm asking you guys, can you please utilize this stuff? Call to action. You say you want to help me out. You want to help my family out. You want to help what I'm doing here. I'm calling you out. Calling out all of the apartments that's listening right now. So I'm asking you guys, we're going to call them out. And look, a couple things. I'm going to send out this information out today. I have a search coming up. I'm inviting all these departments. I'm sending out this letter today. And we're going to, when they don't show up, if they show up, that's great. They don't show up, I will let you guys know, and I'll let you know the date. Because I can't put it out in the public, the date, but because it's a private search and I don't need this kind of search, I have forensic experts, and I definitely don't need, we don't need a lot of people out there, while they're trying to do their work. So that's this different kind of search out there. But I'm going to have a public search coming soon. But for now, I'll just let y'all know for that date, that I'm going to have the search coming up again. I will be sending out these letters to these departments and invite them out there and see if they actually show up. I will give it to my media counterparts as well. That's helping out with me, News Nation, whoever, and see if these guys show up. But I want to say one thing for sure. You guys are my the power. My uncle told me this when I first came to Arizona. I don't know where it came from. I mean, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to contact, anything. He said, David, as long as you got the people supporting you, you have power. And that's why I'm telling you guys, I need your support. I need your continued support. Thank you for the love. Thank you for loving my family. Thank you for loving my son. Thank you for loving me. I really appreciate you guys, but I need you guys to do that. Utilize this information on these websites and tell them, hey, look, I need to change the venue. Maricopa County has the power to do so. The other part is you guys also go to Tempe Police Department here. The information is on the bottom of the screen. And this is the website, Tempe, Tempe, Police Department. That's the whole staff, most of the staff, I guess, are the guys sitting on the screen there. All right. You got the chief right here, Glover. Let's see if you got Anderson over here. You got, I don't know the rest of these guys. Those are only two I know. But you can go to this website, public website, and you can go down here. And the bottom, the way I can tell you the easy way they're doing it, they do a whole lot of stuff. Do some community stuff. That's great. I really appreciate the department. Like I said, very nice people. Reached out to me, helped as much as they can, but I need them to do more. My son's a resident of Tempe. He went missing somewhere. We don't know where he went missing at. We only listen about what some guy said. Oh, I last seen him here. I seen him. How we know that was the only person saw? Did y'all find anybody else who last seen my son? One thing we do know that he could have last. How you know he last been in his apartment? There's nothing to say my son did not go home after he left that well site. Let's go with that story. I'm saying let's just go with that story. There's nothing from that point. So what I'm saying is, you guys, that's the information down the bottom. City Hall. We go to City Hall. And of course, that's in Tempe, Arizona. East 5th Street, Tempe, Arizona, 85281. Their phone number is 480-350-4311. Put that information out, man. That's what I'm asking you guys for. You say you can write these stuff down. Go to this website. That's tempe.gov, tempe.gov, www.tempe.gov. And go to the website, and that's the information down the bottom. You can go through the website or whatever the case would be, find out who the specific person you want to talk to. But that's what I'm saying. You got the chief, you got the assistant chief as well, his department. But what I'm asking for, the same thing I've been talking to them. They know what I'm talking to them about. They know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm tired of, I don't play no games, first of all. But you can go to contact us down in the bottom as well. But I don't play these games with people. But you got the mayor here, of course. You got Mayor Woods, very good guy, very good mayor. In my opinion, I've seen how he worked when it came to very disgruntled about the death of a homeless guy. He kept his composure, showed a lot of love. I spent a lot of hours that night. I was amazed how he can do that with people saying that, a lot of negative things about him. He still got each and every one of those people their time due. I was very impressed by that. And I'm impressed by the meetings I had with Mayor Woods as well. So very, very, very good. Tempe is totally different from Buckeye. But I'm saying, you guys, I can like people. I think they're very great people. But I don't have to be satisfied the way they handle my son's situation. And when I know they can do more. And then you have to push people to do more. You have to do what you got to do. When your family, God forbid, your family go missing, you got to do whatever it takes. I'm telling you guys, and I'm saying to each family who ever listen to me on this Q&As from my experience, you got to do whatever it takes. It don't matter. You got to do whatever it takes to find your loved one, because you got to push people, man. You don't push people, people ain't going to push for you. You got to push for people. You got to push people, make them do certain things. And because they're not going to do it automatically. No matter how good they say they are, no matter what they done or do, is not enough. Some things is just not enough, especially when you know they can do more. Don't let them settle for the minimum. Don't let them settle so they can feel good. Well, we did the best we can, and I tried. And go home and eat dinner with their husbands and wives. Yeah, we really did some work today to help. But what more can you do? This person's still missing. What more can you do? Ain't no stopping on that. You don't find out what happened to my son. I can tell you that part. But the thing is, you guys, thanks so much for call to action. All right. And I thank you in this so much again. We said beside you, Mr. Robinson, thanks so much. We will not stay silent. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Anissa. We back you 100%. You push, we push. Call them out. Call them out. That's right. Hashtag, and I like the hashtags. I'm definitely going to use that one. Call them out. Call them out. I'm gonna use that on my Twitter. If you don't mind me using that, definitely going to use that on Twitter. I really appreciate that. That's a really good one. Call them out, and please help find Daniel. You guys, the hashtag for that. But thank you, Anissa, so much for your support. That goes a long way. It goes very much. And also, thanks for the other support. You did this $49.99. Also, I see the $19.99. Thank you again. That's really appreciated. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. God bless you for that. And thank you for your support and your fight. Thanks for you not being silent. Sharing Daniel's story. Help me keep it out there, keep it alive. Like I said, as long as I have you guys, I have power. As long as I have your mouth, go to Please Help Find Daniel. Again, you guys go to the website, pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, and sign a petition. Anissa, that's another thing, you guys. Go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, sign a petition. I really need you guys to do that as well. Petition is at a good point right now, but it's definitely be better if I get more signatures. Well, I like to say voices. Put your voices there on here as well. Just go up here to sign the petition here. And when you go up there, you'll see that comes up, this change.org, and you can put your voice to that as well. Right now, it's rolling up to 121,337 signatures. Like I said, again, I say it's voices. You have multiple email addresses. You can do it multiple times. But I want to tell you guys, by all means, thank you so much. I see somebody here sent an hour ago. Thank you, Marie. I think it's Maury. If I say anything incorrect, I apologize. But you guys, thank you so much. Excuse me. Thank you so much for signing that petition. Putting your voice to it. You got multiple email addresses. Like I said, you can do it multiple times. That's just your voice being louder, the way I like to look at it. So by all means, please go to that and sign that petition. Put your voice to that petition. That'll help out a lot. Thank you so much again, Anissa, for that love, that physical love of support. I really appreciate that. When you actually showed your love by donating as well. You guys have been showing your physical love by coming to this Q&A and staying here with me and supporting me, hearing some of the same things over and over again. No flares and no thing I can point my finger like this and something pop up on the screens and all kinds of things like that. Entertainment wise, I really don't have the time or really know how to do it. But the thing is to be able to just be here and support. So I really appreciate that. Thanks so much. Also, thank you, Terry Coombs, for being here as well. I thank you for your question. Do you think Maricopa Blue are back in Buckeye Blue? I think all blue is backing each other. That's my opinion. All blue is going to back each other regardless, because you're not going to let a man from South Carolina come into Arizona and make a police department look bad, right? Point out their inconsistencies. Damn, you're going to say something about my department. I really feel like a credibility. I wouldn't say that the Maricopa County would do that, because I think they have a lot of integrity. I think that it's easier for them to believe what a law enforcement department is saying outside of some guy that's come from South Carolina upset about his son's missing and hurt, right? And so the things that I'm finding out on my own investigation, looking, they'll hear it, but they'll try to find some. What I'm saying is it'd be a lot of bias there, I think, in certain areas. You can't help that. Look, there's another law enforcement agency. You do have certain laws that you have to go by. So I cannot necessarily say Maricopa County Blue is back in Buckeye Blue. What I'm saying is that they will most likely be easier persuaded to not do anything, because they're trying to give the Buckeye Blue, I guess you want to put it that way, the opportunity to do what's right. But in the meantime of doing that, it's hurting me, my family. I'm saying, when I say me, I'm talking about my family. It's hurting Daniel himself. He's not getting the justice that he deserved. He's not getting the attention on this case that he deserved. What I'm saying? He's not getting the actions in this case that he deserved. My son is a young young male, 25 years old, graduated from college with honors, took his career to make Arizona great. Don't have such as a speeding ticket, have no criminal record, period. Um, and also, like I said, he contributed to society, pay his taxes. My son, work hard worker, making, like I said, Arizonians safe. He making them safe by he making them safe by the whole fact of checking these viability of these wells. Use his science expertise to make sure that everybody else is okay. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about right there. So the blue's going to look out for the blue in certain areas. And the reason why I say that is because anytime the Maricopa County has the ability, with the high interest of my son's case is a high profile case in terms of the fact that we have so much of you guys, like I said, you guys please help me by staying engaged. And that causes that. You got a national and also interest of the people to really find out what happened to Daniel. And you can just sit on your hands and say, look at another department that you know didn't do things right, and you have the power to just take it and do what's right. You have the labs to do all the forensic work. My son, I'm still paying for. You guys, you know how much money it's costing me to store my son's vehicle, to store all those forensic work that I'm still storing to this day. It costs me, costing the family, not them. It's costing me some evidence and stuff that should have still been the evidence right now from the Buckeye Police Department. They should have never gave me that stuff. But this other department now has the electronics, and it should stay there. It should stay there until my son is found, because it's hard to store this thing and it's costly, right? So I'm saying for them to be able to look at this department and say to themselves, like, they have the power to supersede and take over with the technology they have, with the thing. They should be quickly grabbing Daniel things and doing the forensic work on the clothing to find out if it's actually his clothing or whatever else they can find out, checking out wallets to make sure nobody was tampering with his wallet and took some cash out, took a credit card, whatever the case may be, had a fingerprint on it. They should be able to look at the red transfer paint outside that vehicle. They should match it up to where it comes from. They should look at the yellow transfer paint that I don't really speak about that's also there next to that red transfer paint to see where that came from, match that up to something. They need to check out those two boots, one that was sucked up under the vehicle as well. They need to also check on they claim they did this touch thing with the Buckeye Police Department, touch DNA, whatever they did. No, you need to check these airbags to make sure, because airbags wipe off DNA off a person's body. Check that. They also need to check the everything else, the personal effects that are found in the vehicle, the book, backpack, and some of the other items that I would not discuss that was back there in this vehicle. They need to vacuum the fibers in that vehicle to make sure that nobody else was in that vehicle as well. Hair fiber, look for hair fibers or whatever the case may be. See if anybody else been associated with that vehicle being found out there as well. I mean, it is so much. I can just go on and on and on. But I have all those things in my possession. I have all these things that suggest a lot of things. You got 2 cases of water that's untouched. The fact that the key fob was found in the vehicle. How many of y'all, if y'all could raise your hands, if somebody could tell me right now on the chat and say, hey, look, when I get in my car, my car is a push button start, but I don't put the key in my pocket, right? I always had a key and I sit it in the coffee cup or whatever the case may be, so I can start my car every day. And I just leave it in there. Most people don't even know they go, unlock their door, they'll probably have the keys connected with their car keys connected with their door key, unlock their door, put their keys in their pocket, because their keys, as long as the keys is on your person, I know that's how my car is. As long as it's on my person, I just go in and push the button, start my vehicle. I also got the vehicles on my person. I can lock the door by touching the door handle. I'm just using an example, right? How many times y'all to think that after a crash, they're going to find a key fob in the vehicle so they can be able to crank the car? Why is not on this person? Why wasn't in the pants pocket sitting outside of the vehicle, right? Why is it inside the vehicle? They found us in the vehicle. That's weird to me. It's plausible to me that somebody, to be able to crank it, they had to take the key, and once they crank it and put it in the drive, whatever they did to get it down that ravine, they left the key in the vehicle. I'm just saying. I'm putting some. That's my theories, and I'm putting some things like that. That ain't no factual to say that just yet. But I'm just saying, give you something to think about. How many of y'all actually take y'all keys and keep it outside your keep it in your coffee mug or on the seat, on the passenger seat, or whatever the case may be? Just throw it in the car so you can crank your car up every day. No, it don't work that way. People keep their keys in their pocket. No keys wasn't found in Daniel's pocket. It was found, well, allegedly, the clothing that was on the ground out there, it wasn't found in that pocket. It was found in the vehicle, along with the cell phone. So I'm saying, you guys, it just don't make sense to me. And again, they have you, mind you, after the first initial crash, they said the vehicle being cranked over 46 times now. So Daniel's supposed to be sitting in the seatbelt after the car flip, roll, and all that, and it's sitting on the side. He's sitting there sideways in the seat. Magic stuff going on, pressing that brake pedal and trying to crank it up 46 times while it's sitting on the side. Really? You want people to believe that too as well? It is so much stupid, idiotic stuff that's going on, and then you can watch. And I'm saying it this way, Terry. And now, like I'm saying, showing you guys. I'm saying you can have all the great personality, have all the great intentions, but you just don't really care, right? You really don't really even try because some things just don't make sense and don't add up. And I can't see how the Maricopa County or whoever, Buckeye, whoever, Tempe, could look at anything. And when it comes to this case and the way the Buckeye Police Department traded in their report and say, that makes sense to me. No, it don't make sense. There's a lot of inconsistency there. There's a lot of things that I can show y'all got original reports and how they changed the report from what they got now before they took it offline. Y'all can't get it no more, but I got copies. They changed paragraphs and everything else to fit their narrative. So the whole point is, I'm saying is, you guys, you know, I can't see the police. So you asked me the question, do the blue look out for the blue? I don't want to say nothing about the integrity, but I'm saying it appears so. It would appear so because you cannot be a person or an agency that can see all the stuff, and you're supposed to be so great. You got these facilities, you got this budget and all the stuff, and you can see these things, and you're not doing something about it. No. Yeah, be the bitch sheriff. Be the one that's why I say I wish it was a political year. You best believe, though, I'm going to be around. If this thing ain't resolved, I'm going to be around for the next political year. And I'm making a lot of noise, too. So the thing is, I'm saying, you guys, it's not a political year for the sheriff department, but it's a political year for the ones that just got elected now. And I will be hitting those up, too. I'm making a lot of noise. I'm not going anywhere. My son missing, you guys, Arizona got a force to be reckoned with, and they're going to hear a lot about me, and I'm going to put a lot of correlation things together to make sure they hear me. It's going to happen. I'm not just calling out the Maricopa County. I'm going to call out some other agencies too pretty soon. You guys that should have been helping as well. I've been out here this long, I'm over my time, you guys. I'm going to 3 hours and talking. I need to get out of here. I know my team probably sent me a message by now. Like, man, what you doing? You're supposed to be gone by now. But yes, thanks so much for these questions. Thanks for the super chat and this again. I really appreciate that. You just been so much tremendous help. What color do you recognize? What color do you recognize Tempe Police Department? I purchase in every color, whatever it takes for you to stand up to do the right thing. We will not stop calling them out. Thank you so much, Nissa. I really appreciate that. What color do I recognize? Tempe Police Department. I'm trying to understand the question. But one thing I can say, I just hope they really hear me when I say, I need that help. My son is a resident of Tempe, and like I said, just talking to them guys, they seem like they're very helpful. We sat down in a meeting. I sat down with the chief of Tempe as well as his assistants, and with my team. Like I said, we had some discussion about things, and like I said, I just hope they do the right thing. That's the only thing I can say. But as in the color, I'm not sure. I would purchase every color. Well, and I really appreciate it. That's really nice of you. Okay, I think you're saying about the color of and I'm still learning this about this whole YouTube thing when it comes to super chats and stuff. I just don't have time to actually stop and do it. But I think you may be talking. I started to put it together. You may be talking about the colors. I see you did the $49.99 as well as the other color and this 19. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And there may be something I may be able to do of the color. And I might leave it to my moderators, my team, to try to take care of that. They still in the chats or not, to decide on the color, because they can look at the YouTube side of things. I'm on the thing called StreamYard, so I don't get to see that. But if it's a color thing to choose, I hope my team can do it for me. But thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Nilsa. Thank you so much again for that support. God bless you for that. And I think I'm running out of questions, you guys. Karita? Oh, thank you, Karita. Thank you for the yard signs as well. I'm very excited about that, Karita. You guys, Karita, been working hard and helping my team and to get to yard signs. It's really beautiful, you guys. You guys may want one. I will try to put some of the information out, hopefully. You guys want Daniel. It's almost a sign that we'll put in your yard for Daniel Robinson, trying to find my son. And Karita's been a very, very big help on that, getting those things possible done. And those signs look really good. I can't wait to show it to the public, but very good. If you guys, like I said, you can put it in the front yard, almost like those same signs they use for when people running for office. You put it in your yard, those type deals. I really enjoy that. Thank you so much, Karita, for that help. I really appreciate that. Question is, was there a cooler in the vehicle? No. There was no cooler at all. I wish there were, because Daniel needs something like that, been out there in that heat. Okay, did he normally carry a thermos? Okay, the water bottle would not stay cold. Was there a thermos found? No, there was not. One thing I can say, Daniel's his coworker. Only thing I can say Matrix have been doing is really hard. I've been going to sit down a whole bunch of board meetings with them at the beginning, try to get information and all kind of stuff. And one thing they kept asking me was, well, one of the workers, I'm not gonna put his name out just yet, was, I think I did before, but was asking me for a hydro pack. And a hydro pack, I'm like, what's a hydro pack? I've never heard that terminology, so I don't know what that was. To make a long story, that it turned out to be what we call in the military a camelback. Where they carry, like people go hiking, they always have their thing. I have not found that thing just yet, right? But he's been asking for a real, and I'm gonna tell you the crazy part about it to me when I start looking hindsight. Well, no, I'm not gonna put that out because that'll be part of the investigation. But one thing is, he's been asking for that. And I don't know what it was, but I have yet to find it. I know it's not in the vehicle. So, and it's not in his apartment. So, so definitely, I don't know. But as in staying cold, yeah, I think it would have had something like that. But no, we didn't find that in the vehicle. Dog defender, hi, Mr. Robinson. Since you have all the evidence, how does Buckeye say they are still investigating this case? That's again, I'm telling you guys, if I'm saying like this: if the news media read what Buckeye say on the thing, and they come out and you guys say Buckeye, like at the end of the thing I showed you guys in News Nation, Buckeye say they're still investigating. 9 times out of 10, anybody who don't know nothing about Daniel's case will say, yeah, that police really doing their thing, right? And that's a good question. Can they now say after they gave you the card and items that chain of custody broken? And that's another thing. I found that out too. I'm a lay person when it comes to law enforcement stuff, but I've been blessed to have a former law enforcement officer on my team. Not only just an officer, he's a great person who does a whole lot. Very knowledgeable about police dealings and everything else. He's many years retired, many years in the police department from his city. And some of those things is, like you said, chain of custody being broken. They damaged Daniel's case really bad, the Buckeye Police Department. Very bad, very sloppy work, very bad stuff. And then you'll hear these other departments, I was about to call that name out, they know who they are, say, hey, well, you might can kind of work with them. Look, what in the hell I'm going to work with them for? They damaged Daniel's case really bad, you guys. And the only person that can kind of help salvage something would be the mayor of Maricopa County. That's why I'm asking you guys, again, call action. And the Tempe Police Department. Only two that can rectify some of that. And they need to do whatever they got to do to take this case away from, but I don't working with no Buckeye. Fuck Buckeye. Excuse my expression. That's how I feel about them. I said take it away from that. They can keep whatever they want to keep. If Maricopa and Tempe say they need something to help them along about this case, come to me. I got everything they need. Everything they need. Everything that Buckeyes say they got, I got that. I can do one better. So the thing is, I'm telling you guys, they don't need Buckeye. Oh yeah, it's their case and they goddamn case. Excuse me, expressing you guys. I'm really angry. It's not their case. You know what I'm saying? It's like let's take some ownership, like they own my son or something. You don't own my son. My son is a human being in this country. He's a United States citizen. He's a citizen of Arizona. You know, I don't care who in Arizona with some type of jurisdiction can take on a case, a missing person case for my son. Yeah, I put a missing person report to Buckeye Police Department directed by Tempe with Buckeye. But I'm also putting a missing person report with all these other agencies too who have jurisdiction and can do something about my son. Okay, DPS, Maricopa County, Tempe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm putting in for all of these people. They can start their own investigation. Why they got to try to rely on somebody else to investigate? Their investigation they did is whack, it's messed up, and you know, it's unretrievable. Start your own investigation. That's what I'm saying. The blue don't need to be tagging on with the blue. Do your own thing. If you're good in the department, do your own thing. They don't have any evidence. You're right. They begging me for my son's. Buckeye's was begging me for my son's electronic. For what reason? In my opinion, for cover up. So you can go through his things and figure out how you can fix it for yourself. That's how I look at it. No, I told the person that I working with, the agents I work with, no, they would have nothing. That was the agreement. Nothing. I needed information for me for my investigation, and that's what the agreement was. And so the thing is, that's what I'm waiting. And they're not going to get anything from me, the Buckeye Police Department. So the thing is, I'm telling you guys, if you can, by all means, do that. But yes, they definitely broke the chain of custody, and my investigator did the best he can to keep a chain of custody going. And that's the reason why you guys, I have to this date, I only seen that vehicle twice. When Buckeye showed it to me, Detective Biffin, I was standing about, the closest I got to was 3 feet away with him. And then the second time was with my investigator at the location it's been stored. And I was probably 20 feet away from the vehicle, just watching him from far, doing what he got to do. But other than that, I try to do whatever I can not to come in contact with these things. So somebody can say, oh yeah, he tampered with something. He did this, blah, 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 whatever case they want to say. So I very purposely make sure I keep some kind of integrity going with my son's things. So, okay, I see something trying to put on my left. Laura Gently, this is my last question, you guys. You guys come at this evening. I'm way over. I'm 3 hours into this thing. I can't believe it. Question. Did you say Daniel was maybe wearing a Camelback water pack? I don't say he was wearing that. I just saying the persons from his jobs asking me, have I found or seen, I guess where he put it, this hydro pack. Hey, Ms. Robinson, have you found the hydro pack? Daniel had this hydro pack or something or other question type deal. Damn, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Then he asked me again. That's like he really wanted to know about this hydro pack. I really need this hydro pack. Then I went to go look it up, started some questions by other people, you know, what a hydro pack is. It turned out to be a Camelback. But like I said, I have yet to find that. So I don't know. I don't know if it's something that he had that day at the crash site or the scene or whatever case may be, Daniel, I'm saying, or is it something that they may need to, you know, I don't know. But we'll see. All right. But anyway, thanks so much for that question. You guys, I think I'm out of questions here. I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for, yeah, thanks so much. I'm trying to see some of the things I see in the chat to see if I can find more questions here. But yeah, you guys, if you can, please, by all means, come back to this evening for the evening Q&A. Again, to back up what I said earlier, I will be working on updating the website. as well as today, what time the Q&A prime time would start. For everybody, some people, the time had changed, they went back, so that time might be adjusted a little bit. But I'll put it on the social media, and then I'll start. So you guys, thanks so much for being here on this Q&A. I really appreciate your time. I believe my team probably dropped off a long time ago. They're seeing all these messages come in. But I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for your love and support and being here. Thanks so much for your time. God bless you, and I'll talk to y'all later.